I can't believe dancing in the street. I am the one want to get close to you. Now I'm burning in your atmosphere. I can't feel my feet. Dancing in the street. Let me out. The musical repeat of the night.
Hi, there's Jen. Jen, do you hear me? You do? Okay, good. Um, even though I edited that retrospective, I have to admit at the end there I got a little misty. Jen, did you get misty? A. Alexander. A. Alexander. I see him all the time. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Well, he says he can't hear Jen. That's because she's not here yet. She's down. She's down below. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Look at this right here. All Canadian Reptile Girl, one of the first patrons, Patreon, and one of the first fans of the channel. You guys need to go check out her channel right now. She's got, if you're into snakes and slithery things, you know, things that are slimy, gross. Anyway, she's an expert on that stuff. So go check out her channel. Oh, Jenna's got some comments. Whoa, Paul, again, Paul, I have to start writing down how much money Paul drops into the channel because tremendous support. Thanks so much, Paul.
Ooh, yeah, baby, slip that in my G-string.
Hecklefish wanted to be a part of the stream. Did you hear him this week, Jen? We did? Okay. Thanks again, Paul. That's incredible. And congrats on the million. Here's to 1 million more. I don't know. I didn't. Even when the channel started to pick up steam, a million it just seemed like a ridiculous number. I can remember when we were at, I don't know, about 20,000 subscribers, and we were like trying to measure it, like, oh, we can maybe hit 100,000 by the end of the year or by the middle of 2023. I don't know what happened, but it happened. Alex K for £1.79. Thanks for amazing. Thanks so much, Alex. I appreciate the support. There's Michelle R. Hi from Indiana, watching with my 2 children because you're kid friendly. Well, that's nice. I always love to hear when there are kids watching because it kind of surprises me. This was never meant to be a channel that was for kids. In fact, a lot of the videos I would say don't let the kids watch. But I love that kids are into it. So I guess the last 6-7 months, you know, as more and more people wrote in that their kids were fans, I tried to dial back the comedy a little bit, the adult humor, or at least make it the adult humor so obscure that, you know, you need to be a grown-up to understand it would just go over a kid's head. You know, like the Bugs Bunny cartoons. You know, we all loved the Bugs Bunny cartoons when we were kids, but watch them now. There's a lot of jokes in there that we didn't get. Some of them they're pretty spicy. There's La Folly $4.99. Thanks for the support.
Yes, I could finally upgrade my vodka to Belvedere. No more swimming in the cheap stuff.
No more swimming in the cheap stuff. Whoa, Veronica Rose, $200. Wow.
That's the good stuff.
Thanks so much for that support. That's amazing. There's Degro Hydro. I know what you do for a living. I'm here with my wife, Savannah. Give her a shout out, please. Hi, Savannah. Don't let him smoke that bowl by himself. All right. He's got to pass to the left. That's Hacks War for $4.99 super sticker. Thanks so much. Aaron Tech, $9.99. Congratulations on the million. Thanks, Aaron. didn't see it coming. Your channel is very entertaining. Appreciate that. Please consider the great forgotten scientist Victor Schauberger, the magician of water and father of UFOs. That's a great topic. You got to send that into the tips line because I'm going to forget. Hecklefish, what do you think? Father of UFOs?
Chickity, chickity, ching.
No, that's not it. Is that Fly New York for £5 with a clover, New York pounds, 4-leaf clover? Your nationality confuses me, Fly New York, but I'm glad you're there. Scooby Q for 1999 Giants and Mud Fossils, please.
Ooh, I love this one. Keep the ideas coming, human.
All right, make sure you put that on the tips line so I don't forget. There's Mitty or Mighty Mary, $4.99. Thanks for being you. Love your videos. Thanks so much for watching. There's like a motto or a phrase for the channel. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. It's something like, the Y-Files is for people who are into mysteries or science or whatever it is. I feel like we need to change it to what the hell kind of channel even is this? Because if you watch that video tonight, I mean, if you come to the Y-Files like from scratch, fresh, you have no idea what this even is. I like that about it. I see Casey dot T for cheers. Thanks, Casey. Jen, did you put K up there? I did not. She says yes. Okay. Well, that's okay. I don't mind talking to Kay. Justin, 34 for $2. Congrats. Awesome channel. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate the support. Kurt E for $2. Binge watched the entire channel just this week. Thanks, Kurt. The algorithm loves binge watchers. So I appreciate that. Gino, my brother Y-Files, well, sometimes when he's just like hanging around the house, he'll put on the Y-Files playlist and just let it run because he's helping with the algorithm. And I appreciate that. Christopher Snyder for $10. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, human. I'm getting killed on alimony and guppy support payments over here.
Yep, those guppy support payments will get you. Alex K for £1.79. Is Hecklefish available for parties?
Nuh-uh.
He says he can't do parties. Julius Grover for $10. Thanks for one of the more entertaining channels on YouTube. You're very welcome. Thorny Dig 8, $5. Keep up the great work. Will do. Software and a sofa and $5. Hecklefish for president.
I like the way this human thinks.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. So every time Hecklefish for president comes up, which is a lot, we have to do a plug. So if you're a big fan of Hecklefish and you think that he'd make a great president, as I do, then go to shop.theyfiles.com, pick up a Hecklefish for president t-shirt or coffee mug. Show your support for Hecklefish, and maybe we can draft him to run. Draft Hecklefish for 24. Look, we can't do any worse than what we got, right? Seth Connell for $1.99. I watch your show on a projector with my fiance. Wow. So we're huge then. I hope it's not HD. I do not look good in HD. Mr. Murley for $5 Canadian. Love the channel. What was your background before starting the Y-Files? Mr. Murley, I just did like an 18-minute video on that. I was gonna give you the bullet point. You know what? Go back and watch the last video. Oh, we got to turn monetization on, Jenny. I forgot. Did you do it? She's got it. Got to make a living here. Joshua Graham for £4.49. You have inspired me to start my own channel. Any tips? Yeah, I've got a few. I mean, it was a rough start. Even as confident as I was with the technology, the software, everything that you have to do here, it still took me, 18 months to figure it out. And it's still not dialed in. I mean, if you watch the videos like back to back, you'll see that I still don't have the color right. I still don't have the framing right. I'm still figuring it out. So we're like 2.5 years and I'm still figuring it out. But Joshua, what I would say is start right now. So you're inspired to start your own channel, then I would say start tomorrow or start right now. And don't worry about what you're doing. Don't worry about cameras or lighting. If all you have is your camera, use that. And if you don't know what you're going to talk about, doesn't matter. Just start. And work out the kinks and the bugs now, because it takes a while to work them out. And the thing is, in the beginning, nobody's watching. Nobody watches the videos. Even hitting 1 million subscribers on this channel, the early videos have hardly any views because people just kind of watch the newer ones. They don't really go back into the catalog unless they're like super fans. So the early videos, it's hard to even watch them. I can't even watch what Hecklefish looked like back in the day. I can't even look at it. But I leave it up there. You know, it's good to remember where you came from. Chris Hudson for $40.
Thank you for the tip. This human knows what's up.
He knows what's up. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate the support. Augusto Memoche. I like your avatar. It looks like a squid skull. Yeah, that's awesome. $5. Congrats on the Millie Bigfoot video win. Yeah, Bigfoot video. I just, I'm not a cryptids guy. If I could find a way to do Bigfoot that would brought something new or is different, I would do that. And if you know what that is, then send it into the tips line so I know. Let me see if I can get the link. I'm trying to get the link for it. Yeah, I can't do it. So it's on. Go to the wifiles.com and click submit a tip or a story idea, whatever it says, and send me something that maybe can give us something new. Unless you don't know, unless you want me to do the work, that's cool. That's my job. But the thing about Bigfoot is I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer in Bigfoot. But I want to believe in Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? I wish there weren't so many hoax photos out there. I mean, nobody can ever focus. If you specifically are going in the woods to look for Bigfoot, I would want my autofocus like dialed in because everything's so blurry because it's fake. So I haven't been able to find any decent video or photograph even that was compelling enough to make me think that maybe Bigfoot was real. I haven't seen one yet. If you know of one, then send it to the tips line. Same with the Loch Ness Monster. A couple of people have emailed about Loch Ness Monster. Again, I don't know what's new about Loch Ness Monster. And number two, all we have is that one picture that everybody sees. Nothing really new. Has anyone taken a submarine down there? If not, why not? Shannon for $5. I know it's not much. By the way, I'm not reading these in advance. I read them as I go. So we have kids watching, and I'm like Ron Burgundy. I just read it. Shannon for $5. I know it's not much, but your show means everything to a lot of us, and you're a true reporter, sir. Well, that's nice, Shannon. I'm glad that we could bring a little sunshine into your day. Karsten, $4.99. Congrats on the 1 million. Thanks, Karsten. Are you ever going to go on vacation? Let Hecklefish take a lead on a video.
I like it. I like it a lot.
No, vacation is something that I desperately need. I guess this past week counts as a sort of a mini vacation because I didn't do a story this week. It didn't feel like I had any time off though. I need some time off. But, YouTube is hard. You constantly hear about burnout. And when you're new at this, it seems like it's impossible because it's just super fun to do this. I mean, how could you get burned out of doing YouTube videos? And for most of this channel, I was working full time when I was making the videos. But what a lot of bigger channels have said, which has turned out to be true, which I didn't think was true at the time, was that the bigger the channel gets, the more stress you have. And, when you're new, you hear that and you're like, that sounds like a good problem to have, right? The channel's so big that you're stressed out. I mean, what are you whining about? but you work so hard to get to whatever level you're trying to get to. And then once you get there, the first thing is you realize it's not really any different than if you're at 50,000 or 100,000. It's not that different. And, 200 to 500, it's not that different, these levels. And financially, it's not really that different. With 1 million subscribers or 500,000 subscribers, the number, AdSense is what it is. But once you get to a certain level, the stress becomes wanting to hang on to it. And when the channel was small, I would take weeks off. I think I took a month off once. And it was not a big deal because nobody was watching. But when people are watching, and it's tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that watch week in and week out, you kind of want to produce the content for them because those are the people that made the channel successful. And then there's the algorithm. YouTube says that it doesn't punish channels for not posting. That's, they say that, but that's, in my experience, that's not the case. And when you're in the YouTube Partner Program, you get all this extra stuff. You get access to videos and documents and all kinds of things to help you as a creator. And they're constantly pushing on creators to avoid burnout and take a break. And if you can't create a video, then don't. And the channel won't be penalized. But when I've taken breaks, I could see the views go down. They go, and not drastically. It's not like if I skip a week, it tanks. But day in and day out, views go down and down and down and down. And not by a lot, just a little and a little. But if you skip, they keep going down and down. You skip again, they keep going down. So maybe the algorithm's not punishing me, but it's hard to look at the charts, the graphs, the stats, and see that every day that you miss, your views are going down, your subscribers are going down, your AdSense revenue everything goes down. So you're constantly scrambling to just get the next video out. And that's kind of how I feel where I am. When the channel was newer, I got videos done in twice the speed, half the time. Yeah. And now I'm doing them, and it's like right up at the last minute. And like last week, or maybe it was the week before, I was late. And the videos have gotten long, maybe too long. And I've tried to put much more energy into the edit and making it as professional as possible, trying to get it as close to that TV look as I can without it being too slick. And I don't know, maybe that's the wrong approach. Maybe we go back to the 12 to 15 minute videos that were a lot easier to deal with. Maybe I don't worry so much about the edit. I really don't know. Carson, I don't know. These are you're watching me think in real time, which is messy. Brian, Canada or Kenyatta, $6.99 Canadian. Love your show. Can you do one on the Tartarian Empire? Yes, I have a lot of research on that. And this is something I mentioned in other live streams. If you heard this already, I apologize. But Brian's asking, so I want to explain. The Tartarian, that urban legend is like 2 or 3 or 4 urban legends, and they're new. So it's not fully formed yet. There's not really a story. You've got the Tartarian urban legend has a few pieces. One is the Empire of Tartar, which, according to the urban legend, was a globe-spanning empire for, 1,000 years. And then very recently, like 120, 130 years ago, it was wiped out, and wiped out by a great flood of mud. And there's evidence of this in architecture, specifically around turn of the century, like World's Fair construction. You'll see a lot of pictures online of buildings that are, a tall building, and they've excavated around the building, and there below, like the street, is what would be like 2-story basement, with doors and windows cut out. So the urban legend is, why would you build a basement with windows on it, a 2-story basement with windows? So the theory is it wasn't a basement. Those were the first 2 floors. The mud flood happened and they got buried. And then the final piece of this urban legend is the global cover up. You know, the CIA, the KGB, the big nations of the world kind of got together and eliminated the kingdom, the Empire of Tartar, from the history books. Those are all the pieces, but there's no narrative yet because we're watching an urban legend form in real time. And if you kind of get where I'm going with it, I don't believe any of that. So that's why it's even trickier, because since it's not fully formed yet, there's not a lot of places to debunk it yet. There's just, it's still sort of nebulous. But I'm getting closer, and it's getting to the point so that so many people are asking about this story that I might just go ahead and do it. And maybe it's part of the video is everything I just told you, that this is a new urban legend that's happening right now. So that's kind of where we are with the Tartarian Empire. But it's a great story. Let me look it up for $5. Hey, keep it up, man. Congrats. Pumped I found something before it was cool. LOL. And that's one of those insult compliments that we get from time to time. And that's cool. That's cool, That's He Sale Hezel for $20.
Cha-ching, baby!
Do a episode about cattle mutilation and chupacabra myth. There's a lot in the topic. In Puerto Rico, mutilations still occurs down there, not covered anymore. That's a pretty good one. I've covered cattle mutilations a little bit in the Dulce Base episode, with all those mutilations that were happening in northern New Mexico, like thousands of them. And it turned out that the United States government was doing the mutilations. So that was kind of a cool twist. It wasn't aliens, it was the government, but it's always going to be one of those. Chupacabra is not covered anymore, surprises me, because that's one of those creatures, one of those cryptids that we all grew up on with these stories. I know I did. Chupacabra means a goat sucker, if I remember correctly. And there are pictures of those online. I assume everyone knows what a chupacabra is. I'm looking at Jen. Did you ever heard of a chupacabra? She did. Okay. So yeah, maybe I could cover that. I'm not really into cryptids, but chupacabra is a little easier because there's more to go on. There are the mutilations, there are dead animals, and there are some photos of chupacabras that are pretty compelling. But maybe I just have a warm spot in my heart for, that's my first cryptid. You always remember your first. Todd Calloway for $5 super sticker. Thanks so much, Todd. I appreciate the support. What Chef? $5 Australian. Without doubt, my favorite channel. Congrats. Your channel inspiration to us other YouTubers. Well, that's awesome. What Chef? ? Is that your channel? Go ahead and plug it. I'm assuming that you do some cooking on there. Australian food. What kind of food is Australian food anyway? Do you guys have your own cuisine? I know you got steak. I know you got a lot of beef. But you never hear anyone say, "Hey, honey, let's go out for Australian." You don't really hear that. I mean, we go to Outback. We like Outback. Yeah, we like Outback. But that's not really Australian food, right? I guarantee if we went to anywhere in Australia, any restaurant, if we asked for a bloomin' onion, we'd get one. We'd get one with spit in it. We wouldn't do that. I don't order a Foster's though. That's Tina Maher for $5. I got a Hecklefish tea for myself. Love it.
This human right here, this human gets it.
Yeah, she gets it. Super quick shipping and great quality for a wonderful price. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for the great commercial on the merch. And look, if you want to support the channel, consider buying some Y-Files merchandise. Go to shop.theyfiles.com today. And we have t-shirts, we have mugs, we have hoodies. We've got, I said mugs. I think, we've got the Fear the Crab Cat mug up, which is super fun, and t-shirts. I think mine gets here Yeah, Jenny, ours is shipped. I got a notification, so we should have those soon. I'll start wearing those on the show. That'll be fun. But I'm glad Tina is saying this stuff about, you know, I mean, that's a great review. Super quick shipping and great quality for a wonderful price. 2 thumbs up. Would shop again. I don't really have anything to do with the merch except for we upload the artwork and then Printify handles everything else. Now I'm telling you this because in many cases, hopefully most, the experience is like Tina's, where it's a super quick shipping and a great quality for a wonderful price. But that is not always the case. There have been many mugs this holiday season that have arrived in pieces. So sorry about that. So that's why I say it's not our fault, but it's Printify's fault. But we're working to make that better. But Tina, I'm glad that you had a good experience. Bop Hadiz Games for $10.
Whoop-de-doo! Thank you for that juicy tip, human.
That's a juicy tip. Congratulations on $1 million. I hope you and Hecklefish get rich. Me too. Me too. But I think we're going to need more subscribers than that. This is the Snack Lady, Jackie for $117.76.
There you go. Guppy needs a new pair of shoes.
And I don't know what that number is. I'm guessing that's a 1776. The birth of the nation. Anyway, she says, my boyfriend Isaac and I watch her videos together all the time. And even if we're not together, we still both watch and message each other. Thank you for all you do. Greatly appreciated. Love you, Hecklefish. And Jen gets a shout out as well. Thank you, Snack Lady. I'm trying to, when the names are weird, I try to look at the avatar to see what that is. But I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a snake. Is she the snack? She's the Snake Lady? That's Jackie the Snake Lady. Hey, All Canadian Reptile Girl, you should message her right now. Get her on your channel. Hey, Snake Lady, go check out All Canadian Reptile Girl. I mean, if you're into snakes, you have to check out her channel. It is super fun. There's Prad Bit for 99 cents. Thanks, Prad. Kungo Boom 9 for $2. Keep it weird. Much love from Colorado. All right. I appreciate it. Oh, here she is. Have been here since about 1,000 subs. One of my favorite channels. Congrats on $1 million. Thanks, Age. You're very welcome. Look, and I'm pitching, right? I'm trying to send folks over there. Look, there she is, right? The All Canadian Reptile Girl. Go check out her channel. It's super fun. And the best part of your videos, by the way, is when your dad yells at you, because he's clearly a very strict director. Because sometimes she'll put like outtakes or stuff in the videos, and they're super fun because her dad obviously runs the camera, and I guess he edits too. I'm not sure, but she'll say something to be like, no, again, back to 1. So it's super funny to watch. So All Canadian Reptile Girl, don't send any more money. Hold on to that money. That's Anonymous Beach for $10 super sticker. Thanks so much, Anonymous. Your avatar scares me. Tim Peterson for $5.55. Congrats, AJ and the team, on your success. Glad to be a part of the Y-Files family. I'm glad you're here too, Tim. Everyone should check out the Discord, by the way, and really be a part of the family and the community. Everyone's hanging out in there all the time, and it's a lot of fun. Blackbeard, very, very solid and consistent viewer. Very generous.
Thank you for that tip. Now I can finally join C Harmony and meet the future ex-Mrs. Moriarty.
All right, he's going on C Harmony. Blackbeard says, honestly, the only channel I'm excited about every week. You guys deserve everything. Congrats. Thanks, Blackbeard. I just noticed that that's a dog in your Jolly Roger there. I'm so used to seeing that icon that my brain just assumes it's a skull, and now I look at it, it's a dog with the swords. That's super fun. Cross stuff for $5. Thank you for that. Roy Storini for £5. Super sticker with the Marty Feldman icon. You know, I could do something about that hump. What hump? NS Gaming for $50.
human. I want you to know I said human. Thank you for all the dough tipping, as I'm sure you will find. Always is a good time. Ooh, 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 it's fun to tip the FISH. It's fun to tip the FISH.
All right, so that happened. David Gallich for $5. Thanks for that, David. I appreciate that. La Folly's back for $4.99. Love you, channel. AJ, always look forward to your uploads. This coming from your 20-something crowd. Keep up the amazing detailed work. Thanks. You know, I have the stats. I could tell you with certainty that the channel is not popular with the 20-something crowd, which is, that's fine. We're more the 50-something crowd is that's kind of our sweet spot, but that's, you know, that's okay. You know, the thing about old people like me, not like Jen, she's still very young and vivacious, but older fellas like me, we just sit and watch. You know, you youngsters, you're used to just the swiping, you know, the TikToking and the swiping on the gram or whatever you do. But old fellas like me, we just sit and we just watch. So because the Y-Files has older viewers, the stats are better because people just sit and they just park on the channel, which that's good for the algorithm. But still, I'm glad you're out there, Left Folly. I'm glad that the youngsters are watching. Prad Bit for another 99 cents. Thanks, Prad. I think he just likes to see his name up there. Jack Barnett for $50.
Booyah! That's the stuff.
You guys rock. I don't care what kind of channel you call yourself. Love your content. That's very nice of you. Thanks so much. Jack Barnett. Greg R for $50. Wow. I appreciate it. You guys are super generous tonight. Thank you for that. Georgia Fox Lover for $10 super sticker. Thanks, Georgia. I appreciate that. And I'm not sure what you're loving there, but you do you. Old Cole for $3. Let's all take shrooms together. All right, that, you know, I don't mind that.
I like the way this human thinks.
Yeah, we'll have to live stream that. We get a lot of views. Layered Life for $19.99 writes, AJ and Hecklefish, found your channel 3 months ago and haven't stopped marathon watching. My 18-month-old daughter now says Wi-Fi when I turn your videos on the large living room TV. Great job, sir. You are a storyteller for the ages. That's very nice of you, Layered Life. And that's adorable that the 18-month-old watches and says Wi-Fi. Victoria, best community ever. That's big.
I like it. I like it a lot.
And big shout out to Victoria for being an amazing moderator. Has no equal. Lady Mecha for $2.79 Canadian. Keep up the good work. Love it. Thanks so much, Lady M. Patricia Younger Coca. Tell Hecklefish I burned my fishing license. He'll be happy to hear that. Steely, $5. That was a fun origin story. Sorry, I think the cream in the fridge is a little old. It's making me a little more phlegmy than usual. You're not hearing that, am I sounding gunky? Sounding gunky? No, I am sounding gunky. All right. If you guys don't know, I can see Jen down there in a window. So, oh, there she is.
Hi.
There you are.
Here I am.
You got cats running around.
Everywhere. They're
Boys.
everywhere.
Well, you look nice tonight. Doesn't she look nice?
Well, thank
Everyone
you.
in the chat, please tell her how nice she looks. There was someone in the live premiere saying how hot you were. Did you see that?
I did. And then he actually apologized later because he was like, I didn't realize that you guys were together. Sorry about that. I said, it's all
This
good.
human right here, this human gets it.
No, I mean, it's okay with me.
Well, yeah.
Doesn't hurt my feelings.
Hi, everyone.
All right, well, there she goes. There she goes. I'm sorry, were you talking? No? Okay. Just people were asking about you, and I'm looking at you So I wanted them to know that you're there. Yeah. This is Woody's Geek Channel for $10. I hope I'm watching your new videos 10 years from now. Love your channel and congrats. Yeah, that's the thing, Woody. 10 years from now means I'm doing something really right or really wrong. 10 years sounds like a long time. And that means I'd be doing this when I'm older. Older indeed. But I appreciate the support. This is, I'm going to try this if I can. Nuno Diniz da Costa de Guerrero. He sends 3 of those. I appreciate that, Nuno. Gathani, $49.99.
That's the good stuff.
Love the channel. Congrats on the 1 million. Thanks, Gathani. Didn't think it was possible.
Hi. I'm
a
back.
million subscribers. How unlikely?
It's unlikely. 1 million subscribers on a YouTube channel is unlikely, and it really is what you were saying. I did get teary when I was watching the video because I don't see them ahead of time. And you know, it really is about everybody that's watching. Because talking to people in the Discord, I'm on the Discord a lot, and talking to everyone and just reading all of the chats, everybody here is like super, super cool. And sorry, I'm trying to like star these while I'm talking, but 1 million subscribers is unlikely, and we're super excited. And hopefully we get our gold play button shortly.
Oh, the gold play button.
Yes, so we can put it up on the wall.
Yeah, and more people showed up for the live premiere than I thought, but I bet a lot of them thought it was just going to be another Y-Files. But I tried to be honest and say, look, this is not a mystery. This is a whole different video this week. But there's still, people in the chat saying, what is this? This is not fun.
Well, look, there's 4,637 people watching right now. So
what?
Yeah.
Is that true?
That's true.
Whoa.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Happy holidays.
That just gave me stage fright.
Let me know when you're maybe a half hour away from being completely burnt so I can do last call for super chats, because I don't know if you've seen how many are starred, but you've got like 200. Yeah.
247 or 248.
Yep.
And if you want, next week we can have, if Victoria wants to jump in and help you on this.
Yeah.
Have another mod in there.
Victoria, you should Discord me. We'll have you hop on here.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to it. And there she goes. William Restrepo, $2 Canadian. I missed After Files last week. Thanks for the email. You're welcome. If you email me, look, my intention is to email everybody back. And this past week, I got pretty well caught up. I think I responded to 500 emails, and I still have 300 left to go. So eventually I will get to you. I'm not like, if you write to me and you don't hear from me for 3 weeks, I'm really not trying to be a jerk. I'm actually trying to write to everyone else before you, so everyone gets a response. At least, I'm trying. But the best way to get a hold of me is on Patreon. If you'd like to support the Y-Files, consider a Patreon membership. It starts as low as $3 a month. It goes all the way up to $50, and you get all kinds of Patreon perks, which haven't been implemented fully yet, but they're coming. And as Patreon members, most of the money that you send to the channel goes to the channel, unlike YouTube, which keeps 50, 60% of the money, like the great tips you're putting in tonight. Of this $2, I get 60 cents of that. But on Patreon, we get more. So Patreon members, when Patreon members write, I read all of those and I write back right away, because they send money. It's respectful. They're supporting the channel. Got to pay it forward. Chad Breedlove for $5. Hello, my fiance Leslie and I love your channel. Hi, Leslie. So informative, and we love how you give both sides to these crazy stories. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Chad. I tried to be, I try to be objective about all the stories. I was just about to give spoilers for next week's video, but I'm not going to do that. And as I'm telling you I'm about to give spoilers, my brain was rewriting the sentence to tell you more without giving spoilers, which would have been even more spoilers. That's what happens in my brain, by the way. Arguments while I'm speaking. It's a tortured existence. But yeah, so when I started the channel, I liked conspiracy mystery stories. You know, the Mr. Ballin, Thoughty 2, the other one, you know who I'm talking about. But I found that there was really only two approaches that these channels took. One was they would tell the conspiracy of their mystery and they would just fully commit to it. You know, that the president is an alien from Venus and, you know, his wife is an android who gave birth to a Bigfoot and that happened. You know, that's one type of video. And then the other one is just debunking. But the debunking videos are not, they're not fun. They're condescending is how I saw them. You know, I'm thinking about Simon Whistler, who I'm a fan of. You know, I like his videos, but he has a couple of channels that cover the topics that we cover, and he interjects his own opinions into those stories, and they're always condescending. Now, I know that he's just doing jokes, and he thinks he's being fun, and maybe that's what his audience wants, but I don't think it is. I think people who click on a story about the mud flood or something like that may or may not be true, I think they want to hear how it could be true rather than hear how they're stupid for believing that it even might be true. I didn't want to do that because I like the stories. But at the same time, I also want to know the truth. So, you know, if there's a picture of a UFO, I want that picture to be real, but I know it probably isn't. So when I approach the topics, I want to tell the story and I want to tell it as if it's definitely real. And if you haven't picked up on the format, that's kind of how it is the first two acts of the episode is tell the tale like it's real. No condescending asides, no what ifs, just like it's real. One reason for that is most people don't watch the entire video. You know, it's just a thing. If I release a video that's 25 minutes, the average watch time will be 10 to 15 minutes, which is pretty good for a channel, but still, they're only watching half of it. So if they clicked on that video about the Dogman of Michigan, I'm assuming that they're interested in the Dogman of Michigan, not some idiot who wants to tell them they're stupid for thinking about it. So I give them what I believe they clicked on, you know, how that story came to be. If I have videos or pictures of the Dogman, show that to them. Bring in as much content and as much media as I can to support the story, because that's why they're there. But then for the folks who stick around for the whole thing, for most of the video, which I'm assuming is most of you in the chat tonight, I want to get to the bottom of it, though. You know, I don't want to just say, here's the mystery and then bye, like a lot of those other channels do. I want to say, well, here's the UFO abduction story, how it happened. But what about this? And this person said that couldn't have happened. And, you know, she said it was raining that night, but it turns out it wasn't. You know, I would try to uncover as much of that as I can, so that by the time the video is over, hopefully I haven't spoiled the mystery too much, but at least for people who are interested in the topic, they leave the video knowing what really happened. And I don't think that takes away from the stories. I still love the stories. So I'm glad that you and Leslie enjoy the content and the format. I'm pretty proud of it. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. That's WTF, $5. I'm taking up 2 seconds of this live stream. Sorry. No.
Hey, pretty smart for a human.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got $5. You got your money's worth. So I don't mind it. Morganati for $13.37. I believe that's elite tip. Good luck on finding out your channel identity. I'll be here watching. Well, thanks for that. I think we figured out the identity, but I'm not sure yet. You know, I thought we had it figured out 18 months ago, but it continues to evolve. Although we're pretty settled in now. I'm sorry, I'm drinking the coffee so fast. And now here come the belches. Cedric Santo for 420. Keep it cloudy. Interesting, informative, funny as hell. You rock. Thanks, Cedric. I appreciate that. Kick Batowski for $2. Can you do a video about Boston, Ohio, please? I think, didn't I see you in the live premiere with that request? Or someone else did. Go to the wifiles.com, click the tips line, and send that in so I remember it, because I'm not going to remember from here. But I'll definitely look at it. James Randolph for $2. Best Dr. Evil voice. 1 million subscribers. Very good. Thanks for that, James. Jamerson McRadner for $25.
Thank you, human. I'm getting killed on alimony and guppy support payments over here.
I hear you. The original Hecklefish Mouth was creepy. Glad you revised it. Congrats on the million. I liked the original one. I wanted it to be super low, like lo-fi. Like just, I wanted it to be like uncomfortable to look at. The reason he looks like he does now is not because I didn't like the way that looked, because I did. If you watch this channel, I like weird stuff. I like you to watch these videos and walk away going, what was that? But still be entertained. His Hecklefish changed because it was too hard to get him to work. I don't want to give spoilers, because we don't dive too deeply into Hecklefish and how that happens, but he was very difficult to work with. And so that's why he changed.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
You get it. Daniel Bonner, Bonner for $20. Has Hecklefish ever met old Greg, Moby Dick, or anyone else famous? I'm old Greg. Why are you swimming in my waters? I think I'd like to bring old Greg into a video somehow, because that's super funny. Daniel Bonner, clearly an old fellow like myself. Jenny Sorensen for $5. Congrats on 1 million subs. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Jenny. We never thought it was possible. Mark Valarapo for $199.
Thank you for that tip. Now I can finally join C Harmony and meet the future ex-Mrs. Moriarty.
All right, C Harmony. That's a very generous tip. Thanks for the support. James Peterson for $10. Congrats, and please cover the Book of Enoch. Put that on the tips line so I remember, because I was just researching that just a couple of days ago, the Book of Enoch. Yeah, that could be really interesting, because I want to do another Bible video. On one of the previous live streams, someone had asked about like a religious story. I forget, maybe it was because I covered the Chronovisor. Anyway, what I was saying was I like the religious stories, like Ark of the Covenant, Holy Grail, all that stuff. But I'm hesitant to do those videos because of YouTube and the algorithm and the thumbnail. I mean, it's all about the thumbnail, right? So I'm worried that someone is going to be scrolling and see that the Wi-Files has a video and it's about a religious something and go, oh, I'm not into religion, so I'm not going to watch that. Or I don't believe in God, I'm not going to watch that. So I worry about that. Now, people have written me and said that I'm wrong, that people will watch. And I hope they're right, because I would watch. I'm not a very religious person, but I like religion, if that makes sense. I like the stories. I like the mystery. I like the morality of a lot of religions. I just enjoy that stuff. So even though I don't necessarily believe that Moses came down, right, with the tablets and saw the golden calf and got so upset that he took these tablets that God created and smashed them on the ground in anger. And then they gathered the pieces with the dustbuster or whatever they did and put them into the Ark of the Covenant. I don't necessarily believe that happened that way. But man, I'd like to know where the Ark is, if it even existed, which I kind of feel like it did. I'd like to know what happened to that. And I think it's a great story. And there's a lot of information about the Ark. I mentioned the Ark specifically because that would be the one I would do first, is the Ark of the Covenant. And for everything that I read, I'm led to believe that it's in Tigray in Ethiopia. So, although what's happening in Ethiopia right now, I hope I hope that the relics and everything there are okay. But yeah, so Book of Enoch would be sort of in that. That's probably even deeper, James, because if I recall, the Book of Enoch was not that's not in the Old Testament, right? Book of Enoch came from Dead Sea, or at least I think Book of Enoch complete came from Dead Sea. But you can check me on that. But I'm interested in that stuff. So Book of Enoch, go to the tips line. Please leave that so I remember. And even though you said Book of Enoch and it's on my mind, I still want you to go to the tips line and put it in there, because when I'm looking through all the submissions, when I see topics coming up over and over, I go, okay, I'm going to do that one. Because a lot of the topics I cover, I never even heard of them. Like Phil Schneider, I never heard of Phil Schneider, because as Hecklefish said in the video today, I'm not an expert in these topics. I just don't have the foundation for it. But Phil Schneider kept coming up so much in that list that I had to look into it. And then finally giving in and saying, well, 50 people have written about Phil Schneider. Let me see what's going on. And then read his story. I was like, of course, you got to cover this. So Book of Enoch, put it in there so I remember. And so I know other people are interested in that, not just me. Michael Halaby for $10. Top shelf bottle of vodka for Hecklefish. Congrats on the million.
Finally, a human who gets it.
All right, he's looking to upgrade. Jersey Bob, $5 super sticker. Thanks, Jersey Bob. I have family in Jersey. If that's the Jersey you mean. I mean New Jersey. You could be in Jersey. My family's in New Jersey. Edward Varner for $10. Love the channel and congrats on the mill. Any Patreon content in the works? Orange belt in honor of Hecklefish. Thanks for your support, Edward, and thanks for joining at orange belt level. That's awesome. Patreon content is coming. I've said that almost every week. The issue with the Patreon content is just I haven't had the time to get anything new up there, because if I just had one extra day before the episode goes up, I would dedicate that to Patreon, and I would dedicate that to Discord, and just spending more time with the people who kind of got us here. But the last few episodes I had been editing right up until I have to upload it to YouTube. And now that we moved here in the new studio, I don't have fiber. So the upload is brutal. It could take an hour to upload a video, where we had fiber at the old house. You just upload it. And every once in a while, like, I don't know, 20% of the time, so frequently enough, I'll upload a video, and as it's uploading, I'll watch the preview. I'll just kind of scan through it to make sure it's okay. And 20% of the time, it's not okay. So I have to go back, fix it, and then re-upload again. It's crushingly brutal. Tonight my computer kept crashing. I had to cut about, 5 or 6 minutes from that video tonight because I just couldn't get it finished. Turned out I didn't need the 5 or 6 minutes. So it helped me with the edit. Chris Cito for $10. Bob Lazar was on Rogan a while back. I remember that episode. Talked about a UFO was an archaeological find. Love to hear more of that. Chris Cito. A lot of people request Bob Lazar, Chris. And the issue that I have with Bob Lazar is that I don't have anything new about him that you haven't heard, especially on Rogan's, because he's on there for hours. So I don't know what new I could bring to the topic. Now, a lot of people want to hear about Bob Lazar. So maybe I can just tell you the stuff you already know with the Y-Files twist. Some people say that's enough. To me, it doesn't feel like enough. I feel like you deserve to hear more. So if I can't find anything new, I don't do it. But go to the tips line and throw Bob Lazar in there. If I get beaten over the head with the topic suggestions, I'll do them. Jonathan Daniels for $9.99. Hey guys, thanks for getting us through transitioning our 6-person family from our old house to my in-laws. I'm sorry, man. Into our new one. I've been with y'all since about March or April. Well, thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate the support financially and for sticking with the channel. And sorry about having to live with your in-laws. Mark Garza for $1.99. Hecklefish 2023. What would he be running for in 2023? 2024? F. John Gamez or Games for the third, $9.99. Thank you for the support. Sponstress Art for $2. Your voice is amazing. You and Hecklefish rock. Well, that's very nice of you to say. Daniel Mullen. Look, if I can't pronounce the name, I take one shot, and if I can't get it in one shot, I will just say whatever comes out of my face hole. Woo! Congrats. And there's some emojis. What is your New Year's resolution for the Y-Files? You know, I'm not a New Year's resolution guy because it feels like, I don't know, like a cop-out. Now, and look, if you're going to do a New Year's resolution, anybody, I think it's great. I think you should do it because it's when you resolve to do something new, it's usually to be healthier or kinder or a better person or whatever it is. So it's worth doing. But if you whatever your New Year's resolution is, why not start it now? Why not start it the second you have the idea? So so if I had to do a New Year's resolution for the channel, it would be to get the episodes done sooner so I would have more time to hang out with the audience and Patreon and do all that stuff. That's because I really need to do that. But we're gonna need help. But in the new year, the Y-Files is gonna be hiring folks. So look, if you're a writer or you know a writer and you want to contribute to the Y-Files for money, then go to theyfiles.com. There's a link there for jobs. Click that and get started on the process. If you want to be a researcher, we're looking for those researchers for pay, or just like assistant, associate, volunteer researchers to just help out for no pay. Go to theyfiles.com, jobs, and fill out the information. Also, editors. Now, I have a couple of decent editors in my email that I would start with because they inquired early and they sent me their reel that I can see that they're good. But still, it'd be nice to have a couple of folks to work with. So if we could build that stable of researchers, writers, editors, all of that, then I would have a lot more time to do the things that I really want to do with this channel and with launching the other channels. But until the help gets here, I'm not going to be able to. But look, if you can do it, or you know anyone can do it, spread the word. Daniel, what's your New Year's resolution? Put that in the chat. RRG 991. I think that's 1981. Your year of birth, September 9th, 1981. That's what that's my final answer for $9.99. Whatever kind of channel the Y-Files is, it's my kind of channel. Keep up the great work. We would definitely get along, RRG. This is, we bring the weird. I like weird stuff. People ask, the idea for the channel. Like I didn't just walk around and be like, ooh, we're going to do it this way. The Y-Files is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Pee-wee's Playhouse. That's the aesthetic. That's the vibe. Those two shows, which I think are brilliant. And then the content is Art Bell and Twilight Zone, right? So you wrap all that together and that makes a Y-Files burrito. Jason Knight for $5. Congrats. Here's $5 to let you know you're appreciated. Love the channel. Stay safe in the new year. Thanks, Jason. You are appreciated too. That really, really helps. Dan Grubin, 1999.
Holy mackerel. You see what I did there? Thanks for dropping a couple of shekels on me, human.
Dan Grubin, 1999. Sent you a tip at the website about the Denver airport. New murals were added at the new Voodoo Donut that further conflate the UFOs. I didn't know that new murals were added. That's interesting. Also, I want to help Hecklefish get that bowl full of Belvedere. He's going to like that.
Biggity bingo, human.
Yeah, he likes that. I didn't know there was a new mural. That's helpful because I'd like to do the Denver airport story. And it's probably the most requested one. And a few months back, I did a poll with a bunch of story ideas. And Denver Airport won, which surprised me because that story's been around forever, 25, 30 years. And so much effort has been made in debunking that story that I didn't know. I just didn't know how strong of an episode it would be because with our format, if I, like I said earlier, if I tell the story as it's true for that first act and second act, I'd be worried that folks watching would already have in their mind that this is debunked, this is nonsense, even though I don't agree with that. I think there's a lot to the Denver airport story. And I'm a skeptic. But there's a lot to that story. It's that the Denver Airport Administration has kind of embraced the conspiracy theory, and they've gone so into it that now they've got that gargoyle at in the top level that talks to people, and they've got the conspiracy cafe and all this. They've kind of commercialized it and monetized it, and I think it's condescending, to be honest with you, because just if you ask someone who works in the DIA administration about the conspiracy, they give you the ha 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 and tell you, it's condescending, because there are unanswered questions, but that's what they do, right? They condescend, they make you feel marginalized, they make you feel stupid, and then you don't want to ask. And I think that's the point with Denver. So I'm glad that you asked for that, Dan. And I didn't know there's a new mural, so I'm going to look into that because I'd like to do that story. Over Macho Grande, Naked Gun reference for you kids. For $10, I think you will eventually run out of mysterious stories to cover. You think? I think you should transition to an Art Bell type of live talk show with a subject that night and callers, etc. That's your 2 cents. I appreciate it. Stories to cover? No, we won't run out of those. There's plenty of those. As far as the live talk show, it would be fun to do interview segments. I don't know if I would do it on this channel, maybe a different channel, so that people coming here, they know what to expect. Maybe it will work here. I don't know. We'll try it and see. But just moving everything over to that, I don't think I'd want to do it. It's a lot more work in the prep. It's a lot more work in the production to work with guests and callers. That's a ton of work, and could be dangerous when you go to callers, because you got to screen them, which is a tremendous amount of work. Or you can go Art Bell and don't screen them. And maybe that worked for Art in the 90s and early 2000s. But if we did a YouTube show today and didn't screen calls, you look at the garbage we would get. And if you don't believe me, go read the comments on one of the YouTube shorts from the Y-Files. Those are the people who would call in without screening. So it's just so much work. And, I did all that stuff in radio, so I know how hard it is to do in radio, to add the visual element. It's that much harder. So I don't know, Macho Grande. I like some of what you're saying there, but I appreciate the comments. Comments like that are helpful. I like to know what you guys want. Chris Johnstone Guitar Studio. I love when the names are a full plug for the business. So if you're in Australia, please go to Chris Johnstone Guitar Studio. He's got all your guitar studio needs for a great price. $7.99 Australian. G'day from Australia. Love Hecklefish and have watched every video multiple times. We love that. Great for the algorithm. Congrats on your success. Can't wait for more videos in 2023. You got it. Is next week 2023? Jen's nodding yes. Okay. Yeah, we have a new story next week. I already started it. No spoilers. Got it. Chaos $1.99. Thank you for that. Jason Wetzel, $4.99. I just discovered your channel. I'm a big Dave Polides Missing 411 fan. Look forward to your stuff. Thanks, Jason. I'm a fan of David's channel as well. So I'm assuming everyone here knows what that is. But if you like the missing person stuff, David Polides Missing 411 is a very good channel. I learned about David through his book, because my dad was a big fan of David and his book. Rest in peace, Dad. So he turned me on to David. So if you're into the missing person stuff, David covers it, and he covers the stories. He gets into them. He's a character. I don't want to say too much, because if he sees this, he's going to think I'm being a jerk. I don't mean to be. I'm David. I'm a fan. But he's a character. O-Dog Ferocious for $4.99. My boys and I love your channel. Hi, boys. Cheyenne Mountain Bunker would be an interesting topic. Much love from Colorado. I agree. I don't know if Cheyenne has enough to do an entire episode, but to do an episode just on the underground facilities or the bunkers that the government has, that would be fun, because that'd be something I would watch. And Denver Airport fits into that as well. Because if I recall correctly, something went down when Obama was president, and they diverted him to Denver. And then he landed in Denver. And look, I could be making this up, but I feel like I remember this. They diverted him to Denver. Air Force One lands and vanishes. It's just gone. He's just gone. And then he appears again. So that's part of the Denver conspiracy, is that there's government bunker under there. And if we cover that story, you'll see why that could very well be possible. Stefan, look, I can't do it. I can't do it, Stefan. It's something with radio. $10 Canadian. AJ, I talk about your channel on my web radio. Cool. A couple of hundred listeners on my main show on Fridays. I hope I help. Well, I appreciate that. I love web radio. I love web radio. In 2005, on Valentine's Day 2005, I launched a web radio channel called Egg Radio. I don't think the website is still up, but it ran uninterrupted for 14 years. 14 years. And in 2005 was the fastest growing web radio station in the country, as according to Yahoo. We had 1,500 listeners simultaneous at its peak, which was pretty good back then for web radio. So I always loved web radio. I launched that station because I was listening to Paradise Radio, which I think is still around, which, if it is, means it's 20 years that they've been doing that, on a shoestring. So God bless those guys. So I would listen to that. And I was also I was working in radio at the time. So I was like, maybe I can do this, because I write code. I did radio. So let's do it. And it just sort of took off. And when I say took off, I mean, we had a few hundred people in the community, a few thousand people listening. But at the time, that felt huge. But it was a big part of my life. I made a lot of friends through that station, that we met in real life. We used to have Egg Radio meetups. People would dress up. I mean, people got into it. Look, building communities. I like to do that stuff. So I love to hear that, Stefan. Drop the link in the chat so I can check it out. Because if you make me Google that, I can't pronounce it. I'm not going to remember it. But if you send me a link, I'll click it. J King, $5. I summarizer your channel to my friends as fun. Thank you, Jay. I don't know why. I just like the way you sound. I summarizer your channel to my friends as fun. I just like that. The Search for 1999.
Ooh, yeah, baby, slip that in my G-string.
Oh, he's getting spicy. Congrats on the mill. You need a Lizard People t-shirt. Have the Lizard People coffee cup and Hecklefish for President t-shirt already. Great. Also, AJ, we know Hecklefish is the real star. There's no doubt about it. I mean, he thinks so.
Whoa, this is one smart human. Are you sure you're not part goldfish?
He thinks you're part goldfish. So I don't think I have do we have Lizard People shirts? We may not have those, just the mugs. We'll make one of those, because we need to have that. By far, the Lizard People coffee mug is the runaway bestseller on the store. Runaway bestseller. And look, if you'd like to have your own Lizard People mug, you can go to shop.thewhyfiles.com right now. Use code LizardPeople, one word, and get 10% off anything in the store, anything you like. That's shop.thewhyfiles.com. Support your favorite channel today. Sean Hill for $5. Hi, AJ. I love your channel. Could you cover the energy vortexes or vortices in Asheville and Sedona? Keep it up. That's a great topic. I was looking for information on portals just a few days ago, and trying to figure out the next topic. And Sedona keeps coming up. It's just one of those places, one of those mystical places. And look, if you've ever been to Sedona, which I have, it really is it's a spectacular place. Now, it's beautiful, but there's plenty of beautiful places. There's something beyond beautiful about it. There's something, I want to say spiritual, but that's not really it. It's mystical is what it is. Sedona at sunrise, it looks like the mountains are on fire. It's amazing. And look, if you're crazy, You could take a hot air balloon up at sunrise in Sedona. I mean, if you're nuts and you have a death wish, you could do that. Lots of people do it. I would never do that. I mean, there was one Christmas that the wife got us a parasailing adventure. Honey, you remember this? You see? A parasailing adventure, which we both don't like heights.
I was so excited. I thought I was doing something cool and fun and different for the two of us. And yeah, it was like 10 minutes of sheer terror. I mean,
there's two kinds of people on a parasailing trip, because they put you on a little boat and they take you out there. There's two kinds of people. There are the people who are so into it that they're like, yeah, come on. They're high-fiving, they're shotgunning monsters. Then there's the other kind of person, which is us, and was about half of the boat. And that are people that are vomiting, that are praying, that are texting loved ones, and that are just begging to not go. And that was us.
We were sitting there and we went like fourth. You go up in twos. And the people that went up right before us, the guy was so freaked out that he like almost fell out of the harness, and we had to go next.
Around in the harness. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, no. No. She's like, oh, but it's paid for and we're out here and, it was a Groupon.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
And we were going up. It goes up 800 feet. 800 feet. You can't even see. The boat is like this big. And we... like the whole way up there, I just kept going, okay, you can't have a panic attack and pass out here because
there's no one to save you.
AJ's going to have to try to hold you into the harness.
I'm grabbing onto the ropes, and for 3 days, I had like the logo of the rope in my hand. And now, thank goodness that they take pictures of you up there. So for posterity forever, you can look at yourself scared shitless, just me in the sky, just a giant coward.
Although it was amazing up there, wasn't it? Quiet. Like you wouldn't believe how quiet it was up there.
It's terrible. I had to drive. It was terrible. And look, I've always considered myself a tough guy. A tough guy, but paratrooper was never going to be in the cards for me. I just couldn't do it. Too fast for you. $4.99. What's the most convincing UFO picture? Number 2, what is the most convincing UFO video? All right, most convincing UFO video is the Holloman Air Force video from 1960. I'm going to say 63, but if you search for Holloman Air Force video 196, it'll tell you which one. There are 2 videos there that you got to find. One is a little further away, but you see this it's like a glowing object that slowly comes down between like the rocks and the mountains. Holloman Air Force Base, it's out in the desert. Like that's UFOs love the desert. It's super, super convincing. It's never been debunked. Those videos were taken by military people. And the story goes that there's another like 8 or 9 seconds to the Holloman Air Force video that we haven't seen that shows the landing and them getting out. Now, that landing is supposed to be part of the Serpo story, Planet Serpo. I don't know. I'm assuming everyone's watched it, but we have a video for Project Serpo. And that's the alien exchange program where we sent military folks to another planet and they sent aliens here. It's a whole thing. Allegedly, the Holloman Air Force Base landing was the first landing in that exchange program. So that's super convincing to me. UFO picture is a little harder. It's a little harder. First, because there's so many that it's hard for me to, when there's so many choices, it's hard for me to pick one, like at Baskin Robbins. It's I don't really know which. I'm not sure. Let me just go with mint chocolate chip. So I can't really think of one off the top of my head that's convincing. There's so many that are bad. In the ARV video from a few weeks ago, I used a lot of stills that were all pretty good. I specifically didn't use any that were obviously fake. I tried to pick ones that were like, could be. So if you look at that, if you watch that video, look, I'm going to plug the video. Go watch the video and watch the ads while you're there. Why not? Though there's some pictures in there that were pretty convincing. I used the Holloman landing video in that as well because it's so good. I used it in the Serpo video. I think I've used it 3 times because it's so good. So Google that one. Tequila 69. That sounds like a great evening. For $10, all your hard work is appreciated. Thank you. Thank you, Hecklefish. AJ, you are okay too.
Hey, pretty smart for a human.
Yeah. Big feet is real. If you say so. I'd love to have a picture of it. I'd love to have a video of the big feet. Robert Robert B for $4.99. Love the channel. Binge watched most of it. You know we love that. Learning the story was awesome. I'm glad merch is in my future. Any chance of kid sizes? Yes, we've got some kid stuff up there now. And if there is something that your little ones want, just email shop at the Y-Files because we get that. I think it's shop at the Y-Files. If there's something that doesn't have a kid size, just tell us, hey, my boy wants this, my daughter wants this, and we'll make it for you. It's definitely no problem. And I'm glad that you liked the story. That was something I just put together kind of at the last minute. I wanted to do something for fans of the channel and for people who constantly ask like how we got here and what I was doing before. I think I answered most of that. And most of that I wrote last night and edited this morning. I mean, that's why we had a last minute premiere. It's like, okay, I'm finished. Let's go. Angel Sanchez for $5. My girlfriend and I love watching. Keep it up. You got it. Hey, girly. Julius Grover for $5. Maybe the problem is Bigfoot is blurry. R.I.P. Mitch Hedberg. R.I.P. Mitch Hedberg, man. He was the best. He was so funny. He's the root of so many great comedians. Owe a lot to Mitch. That was a Mitch joke, by the way, for you youngsters, is that Bigfoot in real life is actually blurry. Like the photo's clear, Bigfoot is blurry. That's the bit. The youngsters don't get it. You guys don't know who Stephen Wright is, do you? Jen, you know who Stephen Wright is? She knows. She's old. For the love of movies, $20 super sticker. Thanks.
You called me old. People were mad at you for cutting me off. They said it was rude. You were going to be on the couch tonight.
I'm going to be on the couch because I cut you off?
Mm-hmm.
And there she goes. I did it again. What do you think of that? What do you think of that, Samuel Phillips, for $20?
Yes, I could finally upgrade my vodka to Belvedere. No more swimming in the cheap stuff.
Found the Y-Files about 3 months ago. Cool. Welcome to the Madhouse. Watched every episode, then started sending them to my family. Now we're all hooked. Your family sounds weird. I love it. Thank you and Jen for sticking with it through the rough patch. True gems. Congrats to me. Thanks so much. That's a very nice comment, Samuel. I'm glad your family's watching. You guys sound fun. Ghost E for $5. Cherish your wife. Cherish your wife because you never know when you will lose her. Happy New Year. Here's a beer on me. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, there she goes. Anne of Cleves for 125 of those. Whatever those are. Hi, AJ. Me and my family are big fans. Cool. I hope you can make a video about the missing 411. So about missing 411, David Paulides does it so in depth that I don't know what I can do differently than David. I mean, because he really gives it his all. His videos are super long. So if you're into that stuff, definitely check out David's channel. If there was a missing 411 that fit into the Y-Files, I would do it. A problem we run into is, one, David covers it so well, so I don't want to step on his toes. Two, I'm worried about being demonetized because a lot of the missing 411 videos usually have a sad ending or a gruesome ending. Sometimes there's kids involved, and I don't want to get hit by the algorithm. About 2 months ago, I had like a video demonetized, and then one video was fine, and then another demonetized. So at some point, it was like 2 of the previous 3 were demonetized, and that set the channel back I mean, our views just went down by 70%. I mean, we were cruising along, and then we had about 6 weeks of just. I was like, that was it. Party's over. We're never gonna get to 1 million now. Well, we managed to gather our strength. One of those videos, I finally appealed and got someone to watch it, and that was approved. My other appeal was denied. So the thing with the missing 411 is I'm terrified of being demonetized. But if there's one that's, fits into the UFO conspiracy, maybe someone was kidnapped by a Bigfoot and there's a picture, that would be cool. Shelby M, $4.99. People find channels because of content, but people subscribe because of the vibe. So I would not worry about trying to categorize the channel. Thanks, Shelby. That's great to hear. It's easier now because there's a lot of us. But when the channel was new, a lot of the comments, even the positive ones, were, I don't know what I just watched, but it was entertaining. So I'll subscribe. And there were plenty of comments like, I've watched 7 videos. I'm not subscribing yet, but keep at it. But now there's enough of us that if our growth just sort of went flat, it's fine. We're all here now. All the YouTube weirdos we found each other. Jarek or Herrick Kramer for $1. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. Voodoo Tube for £2. Love you guys. Thank you. All caps back to you, Voodoo Tube. Quantum Sledgehammer for $10.
Ooh, mamacita. Thanks for the tip, human.
Found your channel by chance. Glad I did because you're one of my favorite channels to watch. Thanks. It's very nice of you. Love the content. Love the comedy. Love Hecklefish. Congrats on the 1 million. Thanks, Quantum. That's a nice comment. And when I saw your name, Quantum Sledgehammer, I didn't know what I was in for because that's an aggressive name. So I didn't know if I was going to be in trouble, but that was very nice of you to say. Scott Ashton, $99.99.
Yes. Thank you, human. You know the deal.
Appreciate that, Scott. That's huge. Sergio Giron, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I wanted to say Huron, but I don't know. The $10 super sticker. That's very nice of you. Scott DeWolf, good to see you. $20 Canadian. First, I'd like to say thank you. What's your thoughts of Josh Gates? And it would be interesting for you to do a collaboration. I don't think I know Josh Gates. I don't think I know him. Wait, hold on.
I know him.
You know him?
Yeah, he does the Destination Unknown series on, I think it's Discovery. You would know it to see it. He also does.
Unknown. Was that a missing person song? Destination Unknown.
Mm-hmm. But he does he also goes and hunts for Bigfoot and stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can collaborate. And now she's waving because she knows what it's over. Look, that's the radio producer in me. You bring them in, you get the stuff, and you get them out. I've never done any collab on any video that I could think of. I don't think so. I'm not against it. It's never really come up. A few people have reached out that wanted to collaborate on a Y-Files video, but I don't really know how to fit somebody in. What we do is kind of specific, but that's not a no. And there are a few channels that I'd like to collaborate with that I'm fans of, but they won't take my call. Lousy Pirate for $10. You stay classy, San Diego. I'm Ron Burgundy. Cheers to 2023. Here's to the next million. Casey Olson, $25. Keep up the good work. Love the content. Thanks, Casey. Greg R for $20. My family and I love you. My kids are obsessed with Hecklefish, and we've listened to his songs millions of times. Keep up the good work. Look, I don't know if it, judging by how many people are here, you probably don't all know this, but Hecklefish has his own channel, and he does his own content over there. Like he'll post a lot of highlights and clips from the show. But like if he does a little clip of a song on a Y-Files episode, chances are the full version is on his channel. Like if you want to hear him do the whole Aladdin song, it's over there. A lot of his music is over there. And his when he was driving truck in the 80s, I think it's Big China with Little Trouble in Big China. That's over there. A lot of his stuff is over there. So Hecklefish has his own channel. I love that the kids are obsessed with Hecklefish. Nix for $1. Thanks, Nix. Ollie Halford, $10 New Zealand. Love your channel. What was the hardest thing for you to learn with the channel? Do you do your own thumbnails? Fear the crab cat. Go. Hardest thing to learn with the channel. The most humbling thing was how hard it is. I was going to say how hard it was, but it's not like it's easier. I just understand it more. It's still hard. It was humbling how, because if you watched the origin story tonight, when I started, I thought that we were just going to take off because I knew how to do all the pieces of YouTube, write, produce, edit, host. I've done all those professionally. So I figured I just roll those into one package, put it out there and boom. But that's just not how it works. It's a completely different medium. So all that old experience that I have from those old media, like TV and radio, it doesn't apply as much. It's just different here. So the hardest thing to learn was that my skills were not as useful as I thought. It helps to know how to edit, like software wise, like to be able to sit at Premiere or Final Cut, and know what I'm doing, or Media Composer, which I desperately miss, but I don't use that anymore. And know what I'm doing is helpful, but the way you edit for YouTube is different than you edit for TV. So that I had to kind of learn how to do that by watching other videos. And like, why isn't this working? And I look at the older ones. It's like, oh, dude, this 4-minute segment is 90 seconds. What is all this air? Like now I understand. Now I watch the old videos and it's like, ugh, terrible. But it took a year to kind of figure that out. It would have taken less time if I wasn't so confident at the beginning. If I'm being honest, which it's just us talking. It's just, it's just me and you. Jen's down there. If you're just brand new at this, like if you just start this from scratch, like a couple of people have said they're starting channels, and I encourage you to do that today. So if you're just starting from scratch, you just kind of figure it out. You're learning the software. Oh, this doesn't work. Let me try that. There's not a lot of ego in it. But when I would produce something, I'd put it out there. I upload a video while simultaneously editing a TV show, in the day, and then editing a video. It's not working. Like, why isn't it working? I know what I'm doing. But it turned out I didn't really know what I was doing. I had to kind of learn it from scratch. And it's hard to do when you've been doing a lot of that other stuff. So that was humbling. I'm trying to think of like day to day, what's the hardest thing to learn. Maybe just the discipline, having the deadlines. I've had deadlines before, but this just feels more aggressive now. And yes, I do my own thumbnails. So I do the best I can with them. Look, if you're an artist, you want to do thumbnails, go to thewifiles.com and click jobs. I don't have a thumbnail artist job description up there. Maybe I should. Just fill out one of the other ones and say that's what you do. You could use the help. Michael Williams for $9.99. Great shows. Thanks, Michael. Have you disclosed who does the voice of Hecklefish? I assumed it was you. No, he does his own voice. Who does your voice? Fran for $49.99.
Ooka chaka, ooka, ooka, ooka chaka, ooka, ooka. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Human, you just don't realize what your tips do to me. When you tip me, I can pay my bills and you make me tingle in my gills. Oh, your tips are amazing, and I think it's crazy that you send cash to me.
Hey, you got your $49.99 worth, Fran 5975. Is that May 9th, 1975 birthday? TK for $9.99. Congratulations on your million milestone. Thanks, TK. On a side note, what do you know about Hyperborea? Clearly, I don't know much about it because I can't pronounce it. What do you know about Hyperborea and all the craziness that is associated with it? I've never heard of it. Now, I think I can deduce the meaning of the word from its Greek roots. but I'm not going to do that in case I'm wrong. So
Love it, love it, love it, love it. Drop it in the suggestion box,
Right.
human.
put it in the suggestion box. Melon Head for $5. What about a video on Fulcanelli? And be sure to take a break and rest. Got to take care of yourself. Thanks for the amazing videos. I don't know if Fulcanelli put that in the tips line. Remember, I don't know any of these topics until you guys send them in. I know the basic conspiracy theories, the ones everybody knows. Before I started this channel, I didn't know all the ins and outs, the Richard Doty's. I didn't know who any of those people were. You know, I barely knew what MUFON was. So Paul Benowitz, I never heard of that. You know, that's why I have Gino, Brother Y-Files. I'll call him and be like, hey, have you ever heard of this? And be like, oh yeah, that's this and this and this and Rogan and this and this. So he knows. He may know what Fulcanelli is. I don't know who that is. Sounds like the name of my lunch lady. So send in the tips line. Eat Cake for $20 Canadian. Loves what we do here. Thanks, Eat Cake. So, Jenny, I'm going by some of these comments about having to take a break and rest. I'm noticing that I talked about that about an hour ago.
Oh, do you see how many stars? There's 431 starred. So
Well, there's 430 people waiting, but I assume that was since the beginning.
it is, but you've probably, I don't even know where you are at this point.
I've got to be at 410 out of 430.
No.
She's just dismissive with her. She just cackled at me dismissively. I'm just now noticing that this is intense. Ugh. HD is really hard on the old face. Cat Dean, $5 super sticker. Thanks, Cat Dean. Otis Deadwood, that's a cool name. Found your channel soon after I lost my wife in February. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You helped me get through some really dark days in my life. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I can't even imagine that. In February, huh? February, it was the month I lost my dad. So we both had a tough go of it in February. Stephen Gasparek for $139.99 Canadian. And Stephen, look, I'm sorry. You followed, he lost his wife was the last comment. And you given all that money where normally Hecklefish would sing you a song or something, but you got to let me work back up to it because we had an emotional moment. You understand. But thank you so much for the great content. Need an episode on Dugway or Rendlesham Forest incident. Thank you for being terrific. You're very welcome. Rendlesham Forest, a lot of people asked for that one. That's a good UFO story. And it's a very believable one. The problem with Rendlesham is there's not a lot of pictures. So if we were doing a podcast, you and I, this would be the Gasparek and Hecklefish podcast. If we were doing a podcast about Rendlesham, we could do theater of the mind and tell the story. But for YouTube, I don't have a lot of visuals. But a lot of people do ask for that story. So maybe we can do that. No spoilers, but you're going to like this week's video. Josh Sabo, $4.99. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate that. Aiden Crow, that's a great icon, for $20, for 20 pounds. Congratulations. Thank you. All the best for the new year. Same to you. Hope you have a great new year. Dark Orse, $7 Canadian. Can you do a show on Bob Lazar? I can. We're still trying to work it out. All of us. We're trying to figure out the Bob Lazar angle. Rogan might have ruined that for us. Dan Stasiak for $11.99. Are those euros? Love the way you tell the story, then circle back to reveal the facts. Congratulations. Keep up the interesting and entertaining topics. The 2 million will be soon. I hope you're right. Like, it can't keep going like this, can it? You think it can?
I do.
Okay. I'm glad you like the format, Dan. Hacksaw is back, $4.99. Congrats on reaching 5 million in advance. By the way, how about a video on the Chupacabra story? Keep up the great work. I think we'll do Chupacabra. He keeps coming up, and it's fun. There's a lot of pictures. Maybe that's the next cryptid. Dr. Funk for $5. Dr. Funk has been a huge supporter of the channel for a long time, and I can't get through the comment section without something from the Funk Doctor. I appreciate you, brother. I'm so happy to see you get the recognition you deserve. Happy New Year. Thanks, Doc. And thanks for supporting the channel for so long as you have. Ham Shack, 1999. We talk about your vids and the fish, your friends on Ham Radio. Oh, Ham Shack. I get it. I get it. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. 7-3. Caroline Isern, $5 super sticker. Hi, Caroline. Have a great New Year. Patrick Ryan, 1999. Thanks for all the hard work. I recently moved, and your videos give me something to look forward to each week when I'm feeling a bit lonely. Have a great New Year. Well, that's very nice, Patrick. Thank you for that. And now you see where the pressure comes from, because you've got Patrick there. So nice, right? We've got other lost his wife. This one has to live with the in-laws. So I feel like I have to get a video out because there are people that, you know, it's almost obnoxious to say, but I mean this, that some people count on the video. And I know most people just watch when they're scrolling through, watching other stuff, because that's how I watch YouTube videos. We only have a couple of channels, Jen and I, that we watch religiously. We might as well plug them, right? Might as well plug those channels. We watch the Outdoor Boys.
We do.
We watch that's every Saturday morning, and it's a weird channel. It's a father and his sons, and it's like outdoor videos. They go on hikes and they travel and tents, camping. I don't know. I found it one night just randomly. It was served up to me, and I watched one, and then I watched like 3 hours of it. And I told Jen the next morning, I said, "You got to watch this channel. It's the Outdoor Boys." And I described it, and she's like, "What? We hate camping, and we're not big fans of children, right. So we're gonna mix them." And I'm like, "No, it's just he's earnest. They're sweet. You know, they're Mormons. You gotta love Mormons. You know, they're super nice." So that's a channel we watch. If you're into the Outdoor Boys, you know, I not like plugging him here is going to give him a bump in subscribers. He's got a zillion of them. And we watch Pitch Meeting when that comes out.
Yes, Ryan George.
And anything from Ryan George we watch. That's all we watched? Is that
no? I watch all the true crime.
No. Us together. I'm not going to list what I watch. No one wants to hear what I watch or what you watch. What do we watch together as a family?
We watch the Outdoor Boys and we watch Pitch Meeting.
All right. There she goes. That's my wife, everybody. That's Mrs. Whitehouse. Where were we with Edward Charltron for $10? I expect you to make the week between Christmas and New Year's off. So thanks for this. But when you do take time off, know that we'll all be looking for you to come back. Thanks, Edward. I'm not sure when we're going to get some time off. Jen knows that I need it. You know, because sometimes I'll say, "Hey, I need a vacation." But sometimes I'll say, "You know, I need a vacation, and I think I need one for my mental and physical health." And that's kind of where we are. I'm a little rejuvenated now because this past week was a little easier. I really didn't do much with the channel besides what you saw tonight, which was mostly done the last 2 days. And I already know what we're doing for next week. The research has started. I've already listened to a bunch of podcasts. I read a book about this. So I have a great head start. So I don't feel so overwhelmed. Now, I'll probably end up doing it at the last minute anyway, because when I have the extra time, then I do extra stuff. But I feel pretty good about going into this week. But I do need to step away for just a solid week where I barely touch the laptop. But I don't know when is a good time to do that. If I knew more about YouTube and the stats, I would kind of know. I don't have enough stats. You know, there are channels that have been around for years that can just look and say, "Oh, I know that in February there's a dip and that's a good time to step away." I don't know when that is. The Y-Files is a big channel. Is that true? Well, if that's true, it's only been a big channel for that, because we were a small channel like yesterday. So the stats I have, I don't have any analytics. So eventually I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and go. I'm just really hard at relaxing. I'm really not good at taking time off, which is not fair to Jen because she's great at relaxing. She is a black belt in relaxing. She is a Svengali guru.
I am
in relaxing. She's like,
one of us has to be
winding down.
What?
So if I say, are you going to have trouble winding down? She's already finishing her dirty book and on her second nap. Me, I'm a little more high strung.
A little bit.
So I'm going to try, Edward. I'm going to try. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I said, you're a little type A.
I'm a little type A, but I don't mean to cut you off. But when we get the goodies, we move on. But I bring you back. BW for $20. Shorter videos are okay. That's just telling me that I'm about an hour behind. Shorter videos are okay, but I enjoy the longer videos. 30 to 50 minutes. He wants a 50-minute video. And look, an hour video on broadcast is only 44 minutes. So he wants me to, BW wants me to do like a mini series per week for $20. 50 is a lot, BW. I start every video targeting 20 minutes. That's the target. If I come up a little short, I want to be 15, 17 is okay. I try not to be shorter than that. But if the video starts to run longer, 20, 30 minutes, I just let it run because there's just more to tell. But once it gets over 30, it's getting to be long. And I could see it in the analytics. You know, people just aren't sticking around that long. Even my audience of all old folks like me and Jen, you know, they stick. Even those folks will stick around for, you know, for most of the video, but they'll bail out. So I don't know if we can do 50. I tried to do 2-part videos. I tried it once and it was a abject failure. But I'm glad you like the long video. It means you like the stuff. Logan Miller, $4.99, keeping you hard to find unbiased content on YouTube, and you do it. Thanks for the content, man. You're very welcome. I have my biases. I have them. I try not to show them. You know, if I'm doing my job correctly, Logan, you shouldn't know really what I feel about any of these topics. You should know what my politics are. You should know how I feel about money. You just shouldn't know. Now, I give hints about everything that goes on in my brain. I give hints about it. And if you follow closely, then you know how I think about all kinds of stuff. But I try to keep it so everybody can enjoy the content without having me kind of beat my opinion into them. And I watch, hold on, I got to turn the heat down. So many YouTubers, just their channels, their videos are about, this is my opinion and I'm going to jam it down your throat. And that's off-putting to me. Todd Twilly, $10, sent to the tip line. Google's mind reading ability. People report targeted ads for items they've never talked about or searched for, but only thought about. Modern tinfoil hat stuff. Your thoughts? That's very tinfoil hatty. I like it. So like if you're just thinking about fishing, we're talking about the outdoor boys. You're thinking about fishing or camping. Suddenly you're starting to see ads for tents and sleeping bags and that kind of stuff. Now, that could be Google. I think the more interesting angle is synchronicity, simulation theory, The Secret, that kind of stuff, where everything is sort of a vibration. And because you're thinking about something, you're putting that vibration out there, that the universe or whatever it is you believe starts to manifest that for you. I've told this before about Pat, who's one of my best friends, who's been dead for many, many years. But ever since he died, if we need something around the house, like something's missing, or he needs something, I'll put Jen up. Like I need a pen, I need a Sharpie, I need some tinfoil. I'll say, just ask Pat. Just ask Pat, call out for it, and without fail, it will appear.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Like
random,
the other day,
random weird stuff.
The other day I needed a USB drive for Jen's computer, and I didn't have one, so I just put it out there. Pat, I need a USB drive. And then I just go. Then you just let it live. You just put it out and you let it live. And then I'm just working, doing whatever, and I'm going through my backpack to get nicotine gum, and I pull it out, and there's a USB drive that I didn't know was in there. that who knows how long it was in there, but it took about 15 minutes. It happens over and over again. It's happened 100 times since he's been dead. I had to bring Jen in because otherwise you wouldn't believe me. So it could be that, Todd. I think that's the interesting angle, because it's, to me, that's less conspiracy, right? It's more metaphysical. And it's harder to argue. Wrench Mind, $5. Production at the Wrench Mind channel comes to a halt when a new Y-Files episode drops. Well, that's a compliment. Everyone go check out the Wrench Mind channel. I don't know what Wrench does over there, but maybe something with tools for all you handymen out there. Go to Wrench Mind. Scott Ashton, $4.99. What was the deal with Space Panda? I found him to be seriously creepy. Well, Scott, he wasn't a big fan of yours, if I'm honest. I got to be honest. Space Panda, he was just another character that we had in here. You know, we did an open call. He responded. His screen test was fine, but once we got on the air, it was weak, and heck, he didn't get along with Hecklefish, who frankly felt threatened by him, if you remember the episode. So we didn't bring him back. Maddie K USA, $100.
Ooh, I like the way you tip me. No diggities. Just tip me up.
Cheers, brother. Congrats on all of your very well-deserved achievements. What are you doing? What's the matter with you?
I love that song.
I just saw you cackling down there in your little window.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was Maddie K, $100. Very generous, Maddie. Appreciate that. Jose Castillo for $4.99. Love your show. Will you ever do a show on Mexican legends like La Llorona?
No, La Llorona is a great one.
I don't know La Llorona. Why don't you tell us what La Llorona is?
So La Llorona was a woman. So people see her in a body of water crying. A woman in a white dress, long dark hair, crying, and then she abducts children. So they actually did a Grimm episode.
Okay, now things are making sense.
They did a Grimm episode about La Llorona, but yeah, she killed her own children when she was alive, and now she walks the earth. Somebody said Lady of the Lake. That's true. And she walks around and people see her and they see her crying. And she kidnaps children.
We know there's nothing that the algorithm likes more than murdered children. So maybe, Jose, we got to find a way to make it less murdery. Jen is into true crime and darker stuff, so she doesn't mind a little murder.
Right.
But I'm trying to run a business over here, lady. Slightly sober. I know how that feels. $4.99. Congrats. Your content is great. Mud floods. Yeah, mud floods are coming. You may have to rewind. I talked a little bit about the Tartarian Empire earlier and why it's a challenge to cover, but we're going to cover it soon. Erhan, $6 Australian. Wish I knew about this channel earlier. Well, we've been waiting for you, Erhan. Where you been? You made my holiday that much more entertaining. You are a champion. Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. Jenny Chansey, $19.99. Thank you for saving my sanity. I don't know, Jenny. I don't know if we saved it. When I had to be on bed rest after an emergency appendectomy, my late father was an aviation historian, had a thick file on UFOs, black ops that are our tech. Well, how did he have the files? Aviation historian. You scan those and send those in. And I hope your lack of appendix is doing better. Hope your abdomen is feeling better. Abdomen. PG Kano 01, $5 is a huge fan. Keep up the great content. Any chance you'll do an episode on the Marfa mystery lights? You put that in the tips line so I remember. There's not a lot of visuals on that, but put that in the tips line because I'm thinking about doing Phoenix Lights. So there may be an episode there doing Phoenix Lights is not enough to carry a whole show. So maybe we can do a few of those. Marfa fits in there. LO or D for 20. Don't overthink, just do. Everything fluxes. I love the channel, but Christmas and algorithm combined, keep staying strong. Don't overthink. Yeah, I don't know how to not do that. JD014, $5. Thank you. Appreciate that. Matt, $5. How I found the Y-Files is from the episode of the Dan Bongino show. Yeah, that was weird. I don't watch or listen to Dan Bongino, but I definitely know who he is. And I didn't know how big his podcast was. He's like in the top 10 podcasts in the country. I didn't know that he had the Wi-Fi's on until Gino sent me a text about it like a day or two later. It was out of the blue, but it was super fun to see the video on there. That was definitely a trip. 19 Big Red 74, $10 Canadian. Remember that feeling when you'd sit waiting on the weekly episode of Unsolved Mysteries, Robert Stack back in the day? That and sitting at the top of a roller coaster, that's Wi-Fi's for me. Thanks. Well said. I understand all of those meanings. That was theater of the mind. Lucadian 499, you're a good human, AJ. You're only seeing this version. Are you familiar with book Dr. Mary's Monkey? No, I am not familiar with that. Heard about it on Coast to Coast, and it's the most fascinating story ever. Well, you're definitely going to have to.
Yeah, good idea. But the human is not going to remember. You better use the tips line.
Yeah, use the tips line so I remember that one. Because most fascinating story ever from Coast to Coast, we know that's going to be a winner. JP Hernandez, $5. What an endearing year-end episode. I'm glad you thought so. Congratulations on 1 million subscribers to ring in the new year. I'm glad you liked that one. I didn't know what we were going to do with that video. I knew I wanted to do something to thank all of you guys, and I couldn't really think of it. But so many people ask how we got here, so I thought that might be fun. Fumble Bunny for $10. I would divorce my hubby for Hecklefish.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I don't know. God, he's looking for a fourth ex-wife. Math Adam, ADHD, do the legend of Cat Crab. That's the Crab Cat, Math Adam. Math Adam's been with the channel a long time. The Crab Cat. That would be a good one. By the way, Crab Cat t-shirts and mugs are now available in the Wi-Fi store. Go to shop.thewifiles.com. You can order a Fear the Crab Cat shirt or mug. Support your favorite YouTube channel today by going to shop.thewifiles.com. Brian Quinn for $9.99. Do you have a background in physics? No. Your explanation and editing of the double slit experiment was impressive and spot on. New Jersey, Hollow, New Jersey. No, I don't have a background in physics, but I get by. I get by. JD014 is back for another $5. Thanks, JD. Mike Garipi, $20 Canadian. Keep up the great work. Best show since Leonard Nimoy's In Search of. Wow. I loved when he hosted that. Buck 2239, $50.
Ooh, $5 more and you get a private dance.
Oh, you get a private dance from the fish. Thanks for the great content, Hecklefish fan. Make him dance at the video finishes. That maybe we can do that. Danny Odom, $9.99. Would love to see you cover the Bell Witch. I think I talked about the Bell Witch in another one. Maybe not. May have to remind me about that one. That's a good story. Tim Hughes, $4.99. Big congratulations on 1 million. Suggestion: video on UFO charlatans. That's most of them, Tim. Investigators who make stuff up to sell books to keep themselves in the spotlight. Well, you're gonna like the next video we do. You see, I'm giving spoilers. I don't want to do that. UFO charlatans is all less a couple. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like who were definitely telling the truth. You know, I like Stephen Greer, but you know he can get out there. Bud Hopkins is famous UFO guy, but really more of an artist than an investigator. You know, there's not a lot of people out there that I trust with that topic. None that I can, off the top of my head, none that would release a video or a book or an article that I go, well, this guy I trust, I believe. I have none of those. But I'd like, if you do, then put that in the chat. Patrick Webb, $40.
Yes, my dressing room is getting an upgrade. I'm thinking I need a leather sofa, silk pillows, and a live-in masseuse.
He's going to use that money for a live-in masseuse. I don't think so. Very happy New Year to you, Hecklefish, and the whole team. Highly enjoyable content. A quick hello for K-Star. Hey, K-Star. Where you at? K-Star. Where you at, K-Star? Brett A, 2401. Why? 01, why? Would you consider a video on pre-Ice Age civilizations, the Maltese cart ruts? Oh, the cart ruts got me hung up on giants lately. The cart ruts are crazy. Yeah, Yeah, I came across the ruts researching something else, and I was like, this would be a great video, but I don't. There's not a lot else there. So you maybe have unlocked it, Brett. Is that pre-Ice Age civilization? So the Maltese, the cart ruts. If you don't know what those are, it's like petrified mud or stone. And Brett, you correct me if I'm getting this wrong, but it's like petrified stone or mud that turned to stone that has these deep ruts that like a cart would make, like with wooden wheels that are perfectly spaced apart, that just they run through valleys and down into water. I mean, it's crazy. And the way they run into water gives a suggestion that the water wasn't there back then. So yeah, there's good stuff there. Great suggestion. Leo 501, 100 knocks. What are those? Jen, what are knocks?
Let me look.
She's gonna look. My guy, you have a loyal following here. Don't stress. Quality over quantity. Maybe hire some help so you can focus on the important.
Oh, I thought you took me off. I wasn't looking, so I figured you got rid of me again. Knocks are Norwegian.
I just did that. I just did that to annoy the people watching. Their knocks are Norwegian
Crones.
They're Crohn's, which all my life was a terrible bowel disease, but it turns out it's currency as well. Who knew? No, I knew. I heard of Crohn's. We also have Crohn's disease. I know it's a different Crohn. But I appreciate those kind words. I know the following is loyal because I can see the live viewers. I don't know what you're all doing here, but I'm glad you're here. And
I was just gonna say, everybody get your super chats in the next 4 minutes because we're about to hit 500. That's in the queue. You've probably done 150 to 200 of them, but I want you to get through them. So I'm gonna cut off once we hit 8 o'clock Pacific is when I'm gonna stop starring chats for you to read. So
live streams are how Big Papa sleeps in the studio at night, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's what happens to Big Papa. So 3 more minutes.
3 more minutes. She's the boss. What time is it in 3 minutes? 8 o'clock is the last call for super chats. And that's what Jen says. If they're in there, I'm still going to read them. But she's the boss. More UFO stuff from Leo. I try to do like one a month UFO, which is a lot to me, but I space them out. This week is UFO video, FYI. UFOs / aliens, ancient mysteries, because I love those, modern mystery / urban legend, and then the dealer's choice. Sometimes I go to Art Bell or look at the tips line to see what's on there. But UFOs usually once a month. Jay, $5. He loves the channel. Thanks, Jay. Patricia Younger Coca's back for another $5. Look, you're going to spend the money. Throw a comment in there. What is it? What is this? Is that a hat? Is she wearing a hat? It looks like she made that herself. Did you make that yourself, Patricia? Let us know in the comments if you stitched that hat yourself. Tanaka, $4.99. Have you considered doing a Twitter space for UFO Twitter? You should do it on Planet Serpo as a Q&A to promote your channel. FYI, if you could follow the Y-Files on Twitter at OMG the Y-Files. And I try to get on there every day and try to respond to everybody every day. And I follow some UFO Twitter accounts on Twitter. I never thought about doing a Twitter space because I didn't think anyone would care. I don't have a lot of followers on Twitter. I didn't think anyone would watch, but maybe you guys want to collaborate on it or connect me with somebody who does. And if they want to run it, I'll jump in or something like that. But if people want it, I'll do it. But like I tell people who want me on their podcast, I'm not an expert. I'm an entertainer who researches and I talk to a fish. So when people want to have me on their conspiracy podcast to talk about some conspiracy, I don't know. I'd have to research the whole thing before I went on there, and I would just be regurgitating the stuff that I learned, 3 days prior. I don't have the background in it, so I don't know how entertaining I would be, especially without the fish to lean on.
This human right here, this human gets it.
Yep, he knows what I'm talking about. Tripping with Dumas or Dumbass. Tripping with Dumbass for $10 Canadian. Love your channel, the Wi-Fi's gang. Thanks for that origin story. Happy New Year. Same to you, man. I appreciate you watching. 65, I think those are Mexican pesos. Love your videos. I just find it, and I became an instant fan, and there's something I need to tell. I don't trust in Rick Doty. Kudos. Can't trust Rick Doty. I assume everyone knows who Rick Doty is. Quick recap. Rick Doty was a former investigator and agent for the Air Force's Office of Special Investigation, OSI. And he is the one who has created most of the UFO mythology that we know of. Project Serpo was a Doty project. Majestic 12 allegedly came from Richard Doty. Everything with Paul Benowitz. Dulce Base was Richard Doty. Everything. Holloman Air Force Base, Richard Doty. As they continue to pop into my mind, they all go back to Richard Doty. The reason we don't trust him is because back in the 80s, he was assigned to Paul Benowitz, and Paul Benowitz thought he was intercepting transmissions from the Air Force Base that he was living next to. Richard Doty was assigned to him to make him believe that he was, so they could find out if Benowitz was maybe compromised by the KGB, which the KGB was actually trying to get into Benowitz, so they were onto something. But in feeding Benowitz all this misinformation, Benowitz basically lost his mind and was institutionalized multiple times because he was convinced that there were aliens and transmissions and all of this, and it was just disinformation being fed to him by the Air Force and Richard Doty. And Richard Doty worked with Bill Moore, who in the 80s was a huge UFO researcher. Big. Bill Moore is the one who brought Roswell to the mainstream. No one ever heard of Roswell before Bill Moore's book in the 80s. Richard Doty was paying Bill Moore to put false information into the UFO community in the 80s. And it caused a huge rift between researchers. Nobody trusted anybody. Nobody knew what to believe. The Doty story gets worse. So now you've got Doty doing all the misinformation. But years later, Richard Doty says, oh, that wasn't misinformation. All of that was true, or 90% of it was true. There really is a Dulce Base. There really was the Holloman Air landing. There really was a Project Serpo with an alien exchange program. There really was a Roswell recovery and then a second crash not too far away. And EBA 1 was recovered, and EBA 1 did learn to speak English and did eat strawberry ice cream. Like all this stuff, he said it was true. And now we don't know what. We don't know what's true. So Richard Doty, he's either the biggest hero or the biggest villain of ufology, and I don't think we'll ever know which he is. Sammy Bad One, $2.79 Canadian. Thanks for that, Sammy. Borican Mart, $5. Lady Borican Mart, your neighbor. Lady Borican Mart, your neighbor, Lord Hecklefish. Congrats on the million. Well, thanks for that, m'lady. Let me look it up. $5. There's a book called The Secret Teaching of All Ages, maybe an EP. Oh, The Secret Teacher. I don't know. You have to send it in the tips line and give me a link. I spend a fortune on Kindle from you guys because every time someone sends me a book to read, I buy it. And half the time I will skim it. But if you send me a book to read, I will buy it. PMPC Mining for $10. How about a video about the involvement of the CIA, LBJ, and George Bush Sr. in the assassination of JFK? JFK is definitely coming because it's maybe my all-time favorite conspiracy. That's one I could go on a podcast and talk about because I just love that one. The trick is the algorithm. Because the CIA, LBJ, George Bush Sr. connection and there's a lot of theories about JFK. The one you mentioned is the one I subscribe to, but that's the one that the algorithm that YouTube would least like, that we're going to see. I mean, the algorithm won't mind if we attack George Bush Sr. That's not a problem, but you've got the CIA and LBJ. I mean, Algorithm's not going to like us attacking those heroes. Greg Toberfest, $10. My wife and I love your show. We shout lizard people any chance we get. Ever look into the NASA hacker Gary McKinnon? It's so funny that you guys are shouting lizard people. I hope you're reading that from your Lizard People mug, which you can get right now at shop.thewhyfiles.com. You can support your favorite YouTube channel by getting yourself a Lizard People mug. Use code LizardPeople, one word, for 10% off anything in the store. I'm researching Gary McKinnon right now. I was going to tell a quick story, like who he is for the people in the chat. I'm just going to assume you know who he is and don't do spoilers. But Gary McKinnon is a great character. It's great content. So yeah, Greg, that's coming. Raymond Allen for $20.
Well, I'll be a son of a fish. That's a nice tip.
Thank you for what you do. Love the videos. Here's a suggestion, the Brown Mountain Lights. So that's another lights that we got. I think I see an episode forming. I think we have an episode crowning. Big A 48 for $2. Thanks, Big A. Veronica Rose for $100.
There you go. Guppy needs a new pair of shoes.
There he is. Thanks, Veronica. Pugman 99, $10 Australian. Love to Lord Hecklefish and your clever sidekick, AJ.
Whoa, this is one smart human. Are you sure you're not pot goldfish?
Steve F, $5. How about an episode on the Devil's Highway, Route 666? I don't know that one. I don't even know where Route 666 is. Not Route 66. 666. You got to send it in the tips line. I didn't know that was. I didn't know why anyone would number that. They don't even put a 13th floor in a building. They're going to name a road with the devil's number. I would never drive on that road. I mean, I won't even parasail. Clint Torres for $20. Thanks, Clint. I appreciate that. Martian Express, $4.99. You guys rock. Hey, that is Mars. And look, as it gets late, I try to go faster, and I'm sorry. And Jen, if I go too late and you need to bail, you can bail. But the thing that I notice, in addition to my becoming hoarse, is that as I speed up, I go right into my radio voice. Hey, Martian Express for $4.99. You guys rock. Thanks for stopping by. I'll be here all night.
This weird.
This is AJ, and you're flying high on the wings of Y105. 1DI, brother, for $5. Thanks, 1DI. Kazashini, something with a K, 888, 20 Australian. Love what you do. Much love and Happy New Year from Australia. Have you ever looked into the Rishat structure potentially being the lost state of Atlantis? I'm going to do an Atlantis video, and that's going to be in there because there's a few good locations like Bimini Road and others like that. The Atlantis video is one of those that's in the hopper because I need more than just a week and a half to do it. I need 2 or 3 weeks to do Atlantis, to do it correctly. And I've got 3 or 4 videos like that I know you guys want to see, but they need more. They just need more love than I normally can do. So that's definitely coming. And thanks for the $20. Smart Fusion for $0.99. Thanks, Smart Fusion. Joe Westcott, $20. Love the show. Say hello to my beautiful wife, Kristen. Kristen! Where you at? Kristen! Where you at? Hope you like that, Joe. Dan and Vic for $9.99. Thanks, Dan. Kristen! Get out here! Kristen! Grizzly Bird FPV $4.99. Happy Valley Dream Survey. Look into it. Very weird. I know what you're talking about, but put that in the tips line so I don't forget. JJ Garrett for $5. 4,736 watching now. Started streaming 28 minutes ago. Am I that far behind, JJ? Jen's saying that I am. But look, if someone's going to sit here for all this time and put money in the till, I feel like they deserve it. At least a shout out.
Yes. If you want me to help you read some of these, let me know.
Yeah, I think I'm just kidding. No, I don't think I need you to, unless if you get an overwhelming amount of comments that say, let Jen read some, then we'll do that. But I have a sneaking suspicion that John Richardson for $5. Are there any Y-Files that you believe are real, that scare you, or make your hair stand on end? See, that's the kind of question I wish I was more prepared for. And these are the kind of super chats, by the way, that I like. Although I love hearing that, hey, love the show. Hey, say hi to my wife, Kristen. Kristen! Sick of calling you. I like those. But I also like to, people asking actual questions. The only video that kind of tweaked me a little bit was the ARV video, because if you didn't see it, it's allegedly the U.S. military has built its own UFO, its own flying saucer. It's not a UFO. They have identified it. It's a flying saucer that works and all of that, using 0-point energy, free energy. So it's all kinds of conspiracy and crazy. But the people who have seen it swear that it's true. Now, toward the end of that video, I closed it with 6 or 7 scientists who have been researching free energy and researching the military ARV. They all died under mysterious circumstances, young. All of them died like, hey, I have a meeting with my investors about how to get money for this free energy device I invented. So let's meet tomorrow, and boom, he's dead in the airport, or poisoned at lunch with his investors, or, gets into a car accident as he's driving to the TV station to talk about his invention. Like, all that happened. On Reddit, someone was commenting on that video, because I go into Reddit and read the comments, because I got to see what they're saying. And someone said, hey, the Y-Files got to the end of the video and started listing all these scientists that were killed from this. And it couldn't have been true. So I just started researching each one to see if this was really true. And by the time I got to the 4th or 5th one, he said, I was so depressed, I stopped researching. Apparently it's true, because it's true. They all died. So that was the only one that, as I'm working on the video, I'm going, yeah, I don't know. I think I need 1 million subscribers to let this one fly, because a smaller channel, there'd be a knock on the door, and they would just find me in the morning. I know that when I'm staying in the studio for like a few days, if Jen doesn't hear from me for like 6 hours, she starts to get a little panicky. Like, are you okay? Are they there? They're not here yet. And then, so hair stand on end, the Shadow People one did it, because in that video, I told my story about my shadow person experience. And I'm a skeptic, and I don't believe in ghosts and all that stuff. But this was the scariest thing that ever happened to me up until that point, and since, the scariest thing that ever. So that made my hair stand on end, because I had reliving that. I spent the last 5 years or 10 years getting rid of that memory, and then it's back. And then at the studio here, it's dark, it's quiet. I'm not in my bed. So there was an air mattress on the floor. I'm sleeping like a prisoner, and I could see the shadow people everywhere. And then I'm in my head going, the more you think about shadow people, you're just going to see shadow people. You got to stop thinking about it. But how do you not think of a pink elephant? You know what I'm saying, John? And any that I believe are real.
Did you see the comments?
No, I'm only seeing the starred comments.
Well, lots of people said to let me read some.
Let you read some. All right. So Jen's going to read some comments.
And you answer.
What?
You answer them. I'll just read them for you.
You're going to read them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Caroline Boyce for $4.99. Thank you, Caroline. Love your channel. Keep up the great work. So glad you found us. Well, we are glad that you found us as well. Caroline, thank you. Kristen! I had to call for her too. You had to say hi to her.
You doing my bit?
Yep. BDC Concepts for $2. Love the videos. Patreon. That's your turn to plug.
If you'd like to support the Y-Files, a great way to do that is on Patreon. Patreon membership starts at only $3 a month, goes up to $50, and you get great Patreon perks, which, as I've said, I haven't really done a great job with, but they're coming. But when you support the channel on Patreon, the channel gets the most of that money. When you support here, like on YouTube, YouTube takes 55 or 60%, something like that. And then they take another 20%, 24% for taxes. So the creator ends up with that, and then we pay the taxes on that. So on a $10 super chat, I'll get maybe $2. but on Patreon, we keep more money. I like the Greek spelling of Patreon there. That was very clever.
GLH 2103, $20. Thank you very much. Would you ever consider teaming up with someone like me to create the Spanish version of your channel? Could be a win-win.
Yes, we're going to do other language, Y-Files in other languages. That's just a function of time. If you want to do that, a few people have written me to do Spanish. Obviously, there's a lot of Spanish speakers. I'm going to need you to send a voiceover tape. So I know that you can do the voice of Hecklefish. So I need to hear the voice, but you can email me. Look, Mr. Beast does a Spanish channel. If Mr. Beast does it, we should do it.
Josh Martin for $1.99. Hecklefish for president.
Well, if you really want to support Hecklefish for President, a great way to do that is with a Hecklefish for President t-shirt. You can get that right now at shop.theyfiles.com. Support your favorite YouTube channel today. And there's coming ladies and gentlemen, V-necks, crew necks, soft cotton or firmer, stiffer cotton if you're into a stiffer shirt. And we also have mugs in 2 different sizes. Hecklefish for President, shop.theyfiles.com.
Do we have the youth version of that one? The kids version?
I don't think we have a youth version of that one because everybody knows nobody under 30 votes.
We do have some youth versions of some other teas, though. So go take a look at those. Roger Ver for 50,000. What is that? Yen?
Those are yens.
Chingy, chingy, bang, bang. Nice tip, human.
Thank you for being the best thing since Art Bell, an episode on how the government hijacked and neutered Bitcoin into no longer being a threat to the USD as the world reserve currency would be interesting.
That would be interesting. And I agree with what Roger's saying there. That's a hard one to get past the algorithm, especially cryptocurrency. Just a generic cryptocurrency video is a flag now because there's so much just garbage. There's so much garbage with crypto and NFTs and all of that. I'd like to cover crypto. I almost did a couple of years ago because if you've been following the channel, you know that I've been involved in cryptocurrencies for 15 years and specifically Bitcoins for a long time. But the space has gotten so polluted. I don't know I don't know how good it would be, but the angle could be the government and the reserve currency. Why are you saying wow?
Because 50,000 yen is $376. Thank you, Roger.
Oh,
Wow.
I finally love hearing the phrase, just the tip.
Dude, seriously? Okay. Montana Big Sky for $2. Hollow Earth? Question mark?
Hollow Earth is one of those I was telling you about that needs more time. So that's on the short list with Atlantis because there's so much with Hollow Earth. I want to get it right. I don't want to get all of it. But yeah, that's coming. But as an appetizer, check out the Operation High Jump video because we cover some of it, cover a good amount of it in there. And also the Count of Saint Germain video. It's a 2-parter, but if you watch the first part, there's some Hollow Earth stuff in there too as a surprise because it's Mount Shasta connection.
Right. Kevin Tumlinson for $10. Your show aligns with like 2/3 of my thriller novels. I consider you research. Congrats on 1 million.
Well, that's a huge compliment. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate that. And thanks for the support.
Johnny Fair's World Journey, 125. What's that one?
What are those?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. It's
Yours-
a P
yours
with 2
was
lines
confused.
through it.
Someone in the chat, tell us what those are. It looks like a P.
With 2
All right,
lines through it.
I see a couple that I'm going to take. I'm going to put you on the. I'm going to bench you for a second.
Okay.
There's Betty Confetti, JM, $1.99. Thanks, Betty. There's Dinks. I want to say hi to Dinkum Aussie for $30.99 Australian. Congrats on 1 million, mate. Well done. You know I like your show. It's brilliant. Dinkum has been with the channel for a long. I mean, one of the first commenters that I could think of, and I recognize the names of the people that have been around a long time because for the first like 18 months, almost 2 years of the channel, I responded to every comment on every video. If you left a comment, I would write back to you. And I took pride in that. Like, even told myself, I'm going to do this, you know, I'll keep this up as long as I can, reply to every comment, because that's how you build a community. I can't do that anymore. I wish I could, but I try to get to everybody. If you leave a super thanks on a video, I know it's cheesy because it's money, but I do respond to all of those. And then the people that have been around a while, I try to see, if I see you in the comments when I'm scrolling, I try to say hello. I wish I could say hi to everybody. I can't get to it, but I'm glad you guys are there. Vince 65742. I thought that was the alien species from Voyager, but no, that's 8472. 65742 for $9.99. Thanks for that. John, $50.
Boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, human.
My son Rune loves your show. We just discovered you a couple of weeks ago. Where you been, John? Keep it up. Hey, Rune! Rune, where you at? Endangered moose knuckle. My only regret is that I hadn't found your channel sooner. Good stuff, man. What's the matter with you? How dare you?
Child, that's
She's like a 12-year-old boy. You just say moose knuckle and she cackles. See? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. How about this? Remember when your mom said that she had camel feet?
yes, I remember.
But she meant camel toe, didn't she?
She did. She just had not heard the phrase before. That was funny.
Yeah. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie and her camel feet. She doesn't watch the live, does she?
I don't know. She's a Patreon.
Well, we're gonna find out.
We are.
And she's gonna give you the business. Thanks, Moose Knuckle. Mike Gesso for $5. Thanks, Mike. Cruz Perez, $4.99. Have you watched any documentaries from Gaia or Billy Carson? It's wild stuff. I don't think I've seen Billy Carson, but I'm a member of Gaia. I've watched a ton of their stuff. I use them for research. Sarek GT for $49.99.
Dude, thank you for the tip. This human knows what's up.
Sarek is a Star Trek fan because that's Spock's father. Thanks for the $49.99. Joseph M for $10. I want a Hecklefish t-shirt with some of the lines, the entitled Scottish land buying thing on it. I don't know. Established titles. I don't know if I could put them on a t-shirt. First of all, because they're not paying for it. So why give them the free shout out? And second of all, there's a lot of drama with that company. There's a lot of drama with established titles, which I'm not going to go into. But if you look at the live videos on this channel, I did about a 45-minute talk. I discussed it. But they were a big sponsor of this channel, the biggest sponsor, and is no longer. Cameron Sheech, £1.79. Thanks, Cameron. Doncaster Ghost Hunters and Exploration for £5. Ghost hunting in all caps, haunted roads video. Check out the Stockbridge Bypass History UK. Love you, man. Thanks for the show. I don't know that one, so send that in the tips line. And Doncaster Ghost Hunters and Exploration. If you're in the Doncaster area, visit Doncaster GH&E for all your ghost hunting needs. Great prices, guaranteed. Christoph Lehman, 3333. Congrats. Love the hair, by the way. Well, right back at you, man. Look at that. Look at, is that you in the picture? This is just me doing it to him. I'm not trying to do a Giorgio Tsoukalos thing. This is just happening. And the problem that I'm having now is there's a delay on my screens. So I do this, and then the guy in the screen 2 seconds later does this. So I'm moving it, and I'm like, God damn it, this mirror, because my mirror has latency in it. So that's we've got a question from the back.
That's Christopher Walken in his thumbnail.
Oh, I should have known that. Thanks, man. Elijah King, $4.99. I'm 21 and I absolutely love learning about all the things you talk about. And personally, I won't download TikTok, but you make learning so much fun. Now, look, TikTok is fun. I'll admit TikTok is fun, but you don't want that on your phone. Okay. you know, if you could use TikTok on your PC, I mean, I got it off my phone. So when the Wi-Files uploads to our TikTok, I do it through the PC. I got it off my phone. Everybody knows that they're gathering all that data and sending it to the Chinese government. Everybody knows that, but only now in the last week or so, we have definitive proof that not only are they looking at all the data, they're tracking users' whereabouts, they're reading the chats. TikTok tracks your keystrokes, and not on TikTok. You download TikTok and then you log into, let's say, Amazon Prime, and you put in your password. TikTok captures that. It does. There's a couple of you kids who go, nah, I can't do that. It doesn't. That's why it's not allowed on any government phones anymore, anywhere. Tara from New York. Hey, fellow New Yorker, holla. You are hilarious. Thanks, Tara. Much love from New York. How old are you? You look good. You don't ask me. You don't ask a fella how old. How dare you?
A comment earlier said that your college intern was doing a good job.
Who's the college intern?
They were talking about me.
What? Sorry, Tara. You know, that's a bridge too far. But thanks for the tip. Scott, for $10, how do you pick the real conspiracy theories versus some BS for your content? I don't really start with whether it's real or not, unless I know off the top of my head. I start with the story. And when I start with a conspiracy, like if someone from the audience sends in a conspiracy, 90% of them believe what they're sending in. So they'll send in whatever, conspiracy X. They'll be, all right, let me look into it. And then after researching for long enough, you learn that it's debunked. And then once I find a conspiracy that's definitely debunked, that's an episode I want to do. Because that has something for everybody, right? That has the story, but that also has the truth. It's just a straight conspiracy without any debunking at all. That's just a story to me. Now, there are some videos that we do that when I get to that part of the episode, it's like, I tried to find the truth, but this is the best I can do. There's a few of those. So I don't really know if it's BS until I get down the line, but I honestly assume going into any topic that it's not true. That's my assumption going in. And people on Twitter hate that, by the way. Like when I did the video on the Warrens, on Twitter, the Warrens have a lot of fans, and they came after me on Twitter. How dare I? How dare I go into a story already assuming that it's not true? Oh, I just assumed that the doll didn't murder people. I just assumed that. That's so bad on me. Annabelle didn't murder anybody. The Warrens were frauds. The Warrens were frauds, Twitter. But good stories. And remember, Ed Warren wasn't just a fraud. He was a kid toucher. Ramsey's silent for $10. Rich Hat Structures Atlantis, maybe. Yes, that's going to be in Atlantis. Kat Dean is back for $10. I love to listen to your channel while I'm working. I work a lot. LOL. What do you do, Kat Dean? You got to give me more meat than that. Where am I keeping you company? I mean, if you're doing air traffic control, I would say turn me off. Smart Fusion for $5.99. I love your channel. Greets from Austria. Hi, Austria. BinQ, $5. I sent you a message about misconceptions of electric cars. I engineer them and can help with the video. Did you email me? Email me about that. But last time I talked about electric cars, how I said that they're actually worse for the environment. Woo! That was a shitstorm. That was a shitstorm. I shouldn't have said it. But look, electric cars aren't that good for the environment. What do you tell you?
Hey, you're playing a dangerous game with the algorithm here, amigo.
I know. Blackbeard is back for $20. Have you ever thought about making a Henley-style sweater? I would definitely buy a few. We have some Henley-style shirts. I don't know if there are Henleys in the catalog. Because remember, she's wagging her finger at me. Because remember, we use Printify.
Right.
So we can
I don't think we had a Henley style shirt at one point, but I don't know if we still have it. Somebody was asking a few minutes ago in the chat about the hoodies because they're out of stock right now. For some reason, we got stuck with a Henley provider. I mean, with a hoodie provider in the UK, And so it was taking forever to get over here. So I'm going to try to find one in each country. Well, in the UK and here. So it'll get to people easier. Check after the first of the year.
So, Blackbeard, what I tell everybody about products is if there's something, if you go in the store and we don't have something, go to printify.com and just look at what they have and then just email us. And that's how a few of the products ended up in the stores. Someone just asked for them. And that's the catalog we use is Printify. John, $10 super sticker. Thanks, John. Roger Fair's back for another 50,000.
Boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, human.
Thank you for being the best thing since Art Bell. I saw this one already, but I'll read it again because he earned it. An episode on how the government hijacked and neutered Bitcoin into no longer being a threat to the USD as a world reserve currency would be interesting. I agree. Another way to protect the US dollar as being the world's currency is to stop debasing it with all the spending. That could be
One thing all fish know is the only way to not get caught is to keep your mouth shut.
All right. Can't argue with that. Becky Ward for $9.99. Congrats on the mill. My husband and I love your channel. I love putting your playlist on anytime I'm cooking. So you can definitely tell Hecklefish has had a little work done since the early days. He has a little work done, but you know, he still looks great. I think he's 54. 19 Big Red 74 is back, $10 Canadian. Big Red Patreon, aka Steve. Hey Steve, first of all, congrats. Thanks. Just thought for all the naysayers out there, could you annotate the docs, pics, and vids in your vids, original or examples? Yes, I could. It's just that's a lot of time. But if there's someone out there that would like to assist with that, go to thewifefiles.com and click the jobs link. Curly Raps throws a buck our way. Thanks, Curly. VIP 867, $20. Thank you. Do you visit the website Above Top Secret? See your videos linked there for discussion. Thanks again for your hard work. I'd go there from time to time. I'm not a member of the forum, but there's always good stuff on there. So yeah, if you're into the Wi-Files, then check out ATS. That's a great site. I'll leave it up on the screen for just a sec. Above Top Secret is a really good site. Those people know their stuff. The Gansfield Files podcast for $4.99. Thanks, Gansfield. Everyone go check out the Gansfeld Files podcast, talking about all things Gansfeld all the time. Brian, $20 Canadian, loves the videos. Thank you for keeping us entertained. You're welcome. Thank you for the tip, Brian. It really helps. Kylene, 66, $25. As one of the 50-something-year-old viewer, here we go. I'm loving your content. Here's to another million by 2024. Thanks, Kylene. Thanks for your support. And look, mid-50s, that's a sweet spot for us. Look, Jen, are we complaining about the demographics?
No, we love the demographics.
No, we love it. We love it. We love you, Billy Cruz. Thanks for the $4.99. Carter Joyce, always good to see you. Scott Stewart, $19.99 super sticker. That's very generous. Q for $1.99. The ATC community loves your channel. Well, that's great to know. Nuno's back for 10. Congrats to you, Hecklefish, and to all the audience. Here's a tip for a future video. Large Hadron Collider, Mandela Effect, and reality phasing. LHC is a good one. Those are some good conspiracies. Reality phasing is a good one. That could maybe tie into the collider. Mandela Effect, that's covered so much that I don't think I could bring anything new. I covered it with one chapter in the simulation theory video. And I kind of did that as like, all right, there's my Mandela video. Because if you watch that, you see that I don't really believe in the Mandela video, in the Mandela Effect, because I don't have a lot of those false memories. But I do have a couple of them. The one that always gets me is Moonraker, which is a James Bond film from the 80s. That at the end, one of the last scenes, Jaws meets his girlfriend, and my memory, she has braces. In everybody's memory, she has braces, but she didn't have braces. But I haven't covered that because I'm not a huge believer in it, and it's been covered so much. But if I could find something new, I'll do it. Times of B for 6,000 CRCs. I guess that's Costa Rica money. Viewers from Costa Rica. My brother and I really like your content. Can't wait for more next year. Thank you and congrats from 1 mil. Thanks. Times of B. Brian Nolan for $50.
Whoop-de-doo. Thank Juicy tip, human.
Do you have any UFO stories coming up? Love those aliens. Yes, this next video is a UFO story. Matt Milne, Milne, $20. Have you ever heard of Bill Cooper? I have. Behold a Pale Horse. If not, you should look into him after all he did 9/11 a month. Okay, so Bill Cooper, for those who don't know, called the 9/11 attack a few weeks before it happened. Specifically said, this is one of those things that you got to be careful of. Bill Cooper, I'm not saying it. Bill Cooper said, in a few weeks or a month or whatever, there's going to be a dramatic attack on the United States, and they're going to blame it on bin Laden, but it wasn't bin Laden. And then like 3 or 4 weeks later, 9/11 happened. Bill Cooper. Oh, and then he was killed. Commandant, 5 Canadian. Thanks for that. For the Love of Movies. I love that name. For $20. Is that a YouTube channel? I would check that out. Congrats on 1 million subscribers. Thanks so much. Absolute Tech for £5. Wow, buddy, I'm 46. Don't see myself as part of the 50 crowd. You are. I feel 20 still. I know. Love your stuff, and Hecklefish especially. Love you both, Giles. Thanks, Giles. Yeah, I know how you feel. In my mind, I'm 25, 26. I only feel my age when I breathe. Carney Malone for $50. Thanks for that.
Thank you, human. I'm getting killed on alimony and guppy support payments over here.
John Brennan, 1999. Found your channel this July. Hey, welcome. It has quickly become my favorite show, not just YouTube channel. Thanks for all you and your team do to create such amazing content. Go Hecklefish.
This human knows what's up.
Thanks, John. Matt, $2. Do more videos on lizard people. All right, it's LIZZIDPEEPLE. The reason I spell it is because if you use that code on the Y-Files store, you get 10% off. Shop.theyfiles.com. Support your favorite YouTube channel. Sarek GT, that's Spock's father. Remember that. $49.99. Love the show. Oh, 3 loves. Love the show. Wondering when you're going mainstream on sci-fi or history as their voice. You'd be awesome. They're not beating down my door. James Peterson. Good to see you, James. $10. Congrats. And can you do a video on the Book of Enoch? Also, here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Book of Enoch. I talked about that earlier. Look, it's Roger again. And, these could be.
I don't think I started and then unstarted and then started and unstarted and started 3 times.
Is that what you did?
I don't think so.
I'm doing these in order.
You are, but like it comes through fast. So I'm trying to catch them all.
The issue we're having is 2 hours, 30 minutes in. I'm not halfway done.
You're not. But I mean, I stopped starring them at like, what did I say? 8 o'clock. So there was a ton that came in after that. So I'm just.
What are you gonna do? Mike D 501. Thanks, Mike. I'll try to go a little faster. Don't put your head in your hands.
I was just talking and then
Mitchell Friedman, $4.99. It's just a bit. Now we're doing a bit because I have the button.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wait until you're in the middle of a word and then you see what you did there? Comedy in 3s. Mitchell Friedman, $4.99. Congratulations, Agent Hecklefish on 1 million. Recently bought a Hecklefish mug.
Hey, pretty smart for a human.
By the way, where did you meet Lord Hecklefish? A casting call. We didn't have a prior relationship. I put out a casting call and he was good on tape. We tried him out and he worked. We've renewed his contract twice now. It's up for renewal in a couple of weeks. Yeah, a couple of weeks. And we'll do we'll like we do every year, we'll do a poll and we'll take votes. And if he gets voted out, he's out. And I mean that. Mike Banks, $4.99. Congrats on 1 million, Agent Hecklefish. Your content is always one of the highlights on the week for me. That's great to hear, Mike. Thanks for that. Pugman99, $10 Australian. Love from Dan Unda. AJ, maybe check out the Hapgoods theory. I know that one. Adore your work. Love, Lord Moriarty. Thanks, Pugman. Brad Calderwood, $9.99 super sticker. Thanks, Brad. Anthony Rosado, good to see you. $20 Canadian. Happy New Year to you. Jen and Hecklefish. I'm a full-time carer for my dad with chronic dementia. Sorry to hear that. And your channel delivers me a break. Looking forward to another great year, and thank you. All your work is appreciated. Thank you, Anthony Rosado, and Godspeed and good luck with your pops. Maddie K USA, $100.
Chingy, chingy, bang, bang. Nice tip, human.
Thanks, Maddie. That really, really helps. Michael Imbrano, $7.99 Australian. Big congratulations. Love the channel. Could you do a video on the Huska Castle in Romania? A couple of people have asked for that one. That would be a good one to do.
Dude, this idea is my favorite kind of weird.
Yeah, mine too. Send that in the tips line. Johnny Leo, 125 of those Philippine things. 30 years old here. Great content. And really 30 years old. Those were the days. Great content and really like the videos you post on your channel. Interesting infos. Charred Relic, $5. Thanks, Charred. Jason Candle, thank you, Jason, for the $10. Andre Coot, Andre with a C, $10. AJ and Hecklicious. AJ and Hecklicious, all the way from Cholula, Mexico, the largest pyramid by base of the world research, the conquest of Cortés. 365 pyramids were covered up and churches built on top and more. Yeah, those are great suggestions. Send them the tips line so I don't forget. But I do know what you're talking about. Those, because the ancient mysteries, we're due for another one of those, because they don't have one in the hopper. And the Dorothy Eady video, that did better than I expected. The reincarnation video. What I'd like to know from you guys are if you're interested in reincarnation stuff, because there's a lot of those stories. And what makes it fun is I can debunk about half of them, which is good. But I can't debunk the other half, which is also good. Reincarnation has always fascinated me. I'm not sure if I believe it, but I kind of want to, but it's always fascinated me. And if anyone's interested in that, I recommend books by Ray Moody. Slug for $5. Happy New Year to your family and to you, Slug. Just trying to look at what that's a picture of. Dog face. Yes, you in the back?
He's wearing a hoodie and his dog is in front of him.
Can you show us again?
He's wearing a hoodie and his dog is in front of him.
You didn't know that Jen studied ASL. Ace Man for $10. Video killed the radio star. Art Bell would be proud. Thanks for that. The Buggles, 1981. Sammy Bad 1, 2 Canadian.
Radio star. Video killed the radio star.
Country wind, we've gone too far. Congrats on a milli. How about a moon landing vid? I want to, Sammy Bad, but I'm going to end up with a context warning and possibly a demonetization for spreading misinformation. Because, it's misinformation, but you know what they say? What's the difference between misinformation and the truth? About 6 months. Yiggity Drazzle Dragon, Yiggity Drazzle Dragon, $5. You guys have helped me through some rough times. Can't thank you enough. I'm happy to hear that. And this is going to sound weird and maybe not sincere, but it is, Dragon. You've helped me through some rough times too. Yes, Major, $9.99. Thanks for amazing videos. Found the channel last week. Where you been? Been dying. Did you watch the video earlier? A year with 5,000 subscribers. No one watched? I spent a week on a video, post it, and like 40 people would watch it, and 30 of them would leave crappy comments. You just finding it now? I'm glad you're here. Subscribed almost instantly. Definitely feeling in the void. RIP. King of Random left. Hecklefish for president. Space Panda for VP. Hecklefish did not like Space Panda. But in all fairness, very few people did. Daimyo 2K for $5. Binging Wi-Files while wrapping gifts made the activity so much less painful. Thanks, Agent Hecklefish. Happy New Year. Yeah, I don't like rapping either. Stamos for 2 of those. Great milestone. Hope next year you triple it. Me too. That would be fun. Alan Smithy, which we all know is a pseudonym for $50.
Cha-ching, baby!
Agent Hecklefish discovered your channel 2 months ago as I was recovering from nasty, painful surgery And it's not an exaggeration to say you helped me pull through. It's now my family's favorite. Thank you. You're very welcome, Alan. I'm glad to read that you're feeling better. Steve Hale for $20 super sticker. Thanks, Steve. Tony James, $5. Can you do an episode on the alien autopsy from the Roswell crash, please? Love your show, bud. Keep up the good work. Richard Doty says that there is an alien autopsy video that's true. The one that everyone knows and has seen that I've used clips of is fake. And I can guarantee it's fake because the guy who produced it has emailed me a couple of times looking for a payoff, which he's not going to get. V8 Photo for $20. The 8 kids got their Wi-Fi's gear. Yes. In the Wild photos coming soon. Yes. We started our YouTube because of you. Yes. V8 Vote. Check out their YouTube channel. It's called Steals and Deals. If you like muscle cars or race cars, we'll definitely check that out.
I love that.
I didn't like camping or kids, but I like the Outdoor Boys. So look, we might like the V8 Vote channel for $20.
Do you remember them from a couple weeks ago? They talked about their 8 kids and how they had ordered all the stuff.
Oh, yeah. So we can't wait to see those in the Wild photos. And if you don't know, if you go to the wifiles.com, there's a link for In the Wild, and that's people wearing the Wi-Fi stuff. It's super fun. And I put that on our Instagram too. If you follow us on Instagram, it's OMG the Wi-Files. Mujo or Mujo, great work, great lighting, and great editing. Thanks. I always love when people notice the edit. The lighting is still not working, but I'm trying. Carlos Santiago, Supernatural Lifestyles, $20. I recently found your channel, and it's a love and hate thing. Here we go. I hate it because you make videos on everything I want to do, but love it because you do them so well. We should collab one day. You set the bar high, my friend. Well, thanks, Carlos. Just because I do the video doesn't mean you shouldn't. I don't think I've done a single video that hasn't been done before. A couple of them are not widely done, like the Dodelston messages. There was only one other YouTube video that I found that covered it, and he did a great job, by the way. I like ours a little better, but his was a little more grounded, to be honest. And it was a great, I don't remember the channel. It was something like Nostalgia Computers. It's a good channel. Something like Nostalgia Computers. Anyway, if you liked that Dodelston Messages video, his was great. But just because I do it, you should do it. As far as collabing, you can email me. As I said earlier, I don't have a good way to do that on the Wi-Files. But if I can help you out, I'm happy to do it, if it makes sense. But don't let other people stop you. Just do it. Give your own spin on it. Give your own take. Go a little deeper than I do. Magic Justin for $19.99. Congrats. Found your channel last month and is by far my favorite channel on YouTube. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Magic Justin. Underpass 61-V2. $5. Thanks for all the truly superior content. We'll love to see a show about the giant skeletons found on Santa Catalina Island. Someone else just wrote in about the skeletons in Catalina. Maybe we'll do that. I covered skeletons a little bit in the Grand Canyon video. If you haven't seen that, are you new? If you haven't seen that, I covered it a little bit there. Focus. There you go. Shamsky for $20. Congrats. Love the channel. Would love to see something on the Dark Pyramid near Mount Denali in Alaska. I was just researching that one. So that might be coming. Because that's a great topic. Great suggestion. Chris Scher for $10. Congrats. Happy New Year. Same to you. Thanks for the great content. Entertainment. You're very welcome. Brent Grung for 70 czars. I've never received that many czars. Super happy for you. Congrats. Also, in the new year, may I suggest you cover some mysteries outside of the U.S., specifically South Africa. Look up Kempton Park Hospital. Would love your spin on it. Go ahead and send that into the tips line so I don't forget. I'm going to be honest with you because, again, Brenda, it's just us talking. I do mostly United States-based stories because 60% of the audience is in the United States, and 100% of people in the United States are very focused on the United States. Where I'm, honestly, people in the U.S., we're just... we love to travel and all that stuff, but when it comes down to it, we really feel like there's the United States and then there's everywhere else. So that's why. But I have covered other stuff elsewhere. Like there's a video coming up on the city of Liverpool, which had Liverpool time slip specifically, because the city of Liverpool has some great stories. But send me a link and I'll look into that. South Africa, that could be interesting. Trey McAllister 499, love the channel. Did you get my email? And the video I sent you was paranormal investigator for over 10 years and sent you a couple of vids. I think I did, Trey. I think I may have even written you back because you sound familiar. Yeah, I think I wrote you back, but I'm pretty sure I got them, but I'll double check. You can always email me again to remind me. I don't mind that. X Ninja Jones, X, $10. Keep on pushing, bud. Let's aim for 10 million. We'd love your thoughts on giant humanoid skeletal remains in South American museums, how the North American media is being repressed towards the info. Yep, you're right. Well, I think what I need to do is maybe just make sure the high ticket folks get their shout out. You know, I hate to skip over folks that just put in $1 because they deserve a shout out as much as anyone else. When someone puts $100 in the till, they really deserve to have their thing read. But we're coming up on 3 hours, y'all.
I'm just going to start showing some and you read them.
Why don't we do that? Then, because then it's not my fault. Then if you didn't get your thing right, it's Jen's fault.
It's my fault.
Okay. I'm looking at the queue and I'm just over halfway. And we're almost 3 hours in.
Wow. Okay, hang on.
All right. Sean Bell Pool for $20. Me and my son love your channel. You fell a gap. I fill a gap Bill Nye and X-Files left. Wow, that's a great compliment.
Oh,
I'm a huge fan of the X-Files.
You went fast.
Bill Nye. Julia Scott, $20. Thanks for your great videos. You are the first channel I've subscribed to. You always remember your first and supported through Patreon. Wow, great investment. Please keep up the great work. Happy New Year. Thanks so much, Julia. I appreciate the support. That's Connor's dad for $49.99.
Holy mackerel. You see what I did there? Thanks for dropping a couple of shekels on me, human.
Shekels. F-15 Ranger, 1991, 1999. Sorry, I'm looking at the icon. I guess that is an F-15. Too many channels go only down the conspiracy route without looking at any facts. It's warping these kids' minds. I love how you look at all angles and end with reality. Suggestion, Antikythera mechanism. That would be part of the out of sort of the ooh parts, the objects that are out of time. But again, it's been covered so much. I have to find something new or some new way to approach it. But yeah, it's on my mind. Dave Yeagley for $20. Congrats on the 1 million subs. Any update on Hecklefish plushies?
Yes. I mean, the update is that we've been talking to a couple companies about getting them made. So that's on my list for one of my New Year's resolutions right after the first of the year.
No, I don't understand any of this. Maybe someone can punch me in the face and see if that helps.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
JP Solar, 1999. Love last week's episode. I've had an old hag experience as well. Can you do one about the Mothman? If I can find something new, I will do the Mothman. Thanks, JP. Cat Daddy, 57, $20. Superb channel, AJ and Jen. Here's some coin to keep them kitties rolling in catnip. Thanks, Cat Daddy. You have kittens by you?
I do. I have one there. The other one probably put himself to bed.
Okay. Is it his bedtime already? It's a little early. Dan the Man for 20 Australian. Keep up the great work. The variety and depth you go to ensure you provide as much perspective and as possible is amazing. Must take a lot of time to find. Love the variety. Many fans here in Australia have a happy New Year's. Thanks, Daniel. That's a great comment. And yeah, it takes a lot of time, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's worth it. Eric Barlow for $30. Glad your channel's growing. It might be nice to see some videos on the origin of our modern holidays and customs. That could be good, especially because some of them have very dark histories. So maybe we do those. That's Lynn Elizabeth Benson. That's a lot of letters. For $5 at 35,000 subs, I left a compliment. You replied. Thank you, Lynn. Wow, made my day. The glasses, I thought you were Robert Downey Jr. for a second. No, I'm at least a half inch taller than Rob. which isn't saying much for either of us. HS Freddy CSC 1999 super sticker. Thanks, Freddie. Brent Tom, $20. I died on January 17th, 22, but was sent back. Too long, didn't read it. Spent 6 weeks in ICU. One of my only peaceful moments was the time I got to watch your new videos. Death is not the end. Peace and love, brother. P.S. Hecklefish for life. I was just researching some end of life, near death experience stuff. So that's interesting that you sent that in because it's synchronicity. That I may have to do that. That's a video that's going to take some effort, probably more than a week, but I'm interested in that. I was just on Graham Hancock's YouTube channel, just looking through his old stuff because you put him on, it's like a warm sweater. It's like company, and he had a story of a near death experience from a woman named Rocio Luis. It's on there, and it was fascinating, and everyone tells the same story. So Bent Tom, do me a favor, write up what you saw and email me. Crazy World, 1999. I work at DIA. The stories are crazy. Might I suggest the Sci-Files? I would love to get your perspective on some science topics. I want to do more science stuff. I just haven't had time, but that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah, we'd like to do like a science one, like a straight science one, like on a Monday, and then the ones that we do now on Thursdays. So let us know what you think about that. Okay.
Jarhead 1975, Semper Fi, my brother. $20. Keep up the great work, and here's to many more great years to the Wi-Fi House. Thank you.
Okay, sorry.
Jarhead 75. That's an old Marine. J Dive Boy for $20. I'm still going to try to get you to do one on the Nazis that joined our government and helped start our 3-letter agencies and NASA. You're talking about Project Paperclip. I know everything Nazi is hard to get monetized. It is. Viva la Hecklefish. No, Nazi's hard to do because as soon as you say the N-word, that N-word, the algorithm flags you. But as long as I keep the story historical, we're fine. I need to have it manually appealed, which means I need to post that video 2 or 3 days in advance because I need it viewed by a human. But if you do say Nazi or Hitler, they're like, no. But I'll win the appeal. So we can do that. It's just, I don't know what new I can do there, Jay. Because, Operation Paperclip, I think everybody knows that, like NASA, like Werner von Braun was a Nazi. Everyone knows that stuff, right? Jen, everyone knows that the Nazis started all these agencies?
Not everybody knows. People would still be really interested in seeing it.
Okay.
Okay.
Jose Murillo Aldaba, 50.
Cha-ching! I appreciate the tip, human. Time you hit the tables, baby.
Congrats on all your continued success. Love the channel. I came over from the ads after the Cyanide and Happiness YouTube.
Yes.
First, I thought it was odd, but you got me. Much love from Cali, Hecklefish 2024. I'm glad you came over, Jose. We got very little action from that ad. But
that was fun to do, though, because we actually dubbed over all of those videos. That was AJ and I doing the voiceovers in the different sci-fi languages for all those.
Oh, that's right.
Cyanide
That was
and
us doing the
Happiness
voices.
Yeah, that was fun.
XDSP, $20. Thanks for your storytelling suggestion. Giant of Kandahar. 2002, team of Rangers or Recon go missing in the Kandahar Mountains. A SEAL team is sent to find them and discovers their remains at a 12-foot tall giant. Yeah, I know the story well. There's not a lot of visual support for it. But it's been on my list for a year. I'd like to do it. I need to find visuals for it. But, if the Rangers say they saw it, they saw it. So Rangers lead the way. All the way. Penelope Peter Petra, 1999. AJ, the way you sit down at the top of each episode gives me great peace. It helps me sleep at night. What's your favorite episode you've done? And will you consider covering 9/11? Nope. And Mothman in depth? Maybe. Keep up the great work. Can't do 9/11 because of the algorithm. Can't do anything like that. Shocking content. Blah blah blah. Hang on. Go back to her.
Okay, hang on. I gotta find it. This one?
The favorite episode might be Simulation Theory. Was really happy with that one. And there were a couple that maybe 3 or 4 that I finished. I was like, yeah, that was a good episode. Most of them I'm not. Most of them like, it'll have to do. Thanks, Penelope. Penny. That's Penny. Penny P.
Penny Pete. Now I gotta. Here we go. Here. This one.
Joe Rodriguez, $20. Hecklefish swimsuit calendar deposit. That's a great idea. I love it.
I love that one.
Pretty smart for a human.
Alexander, I don't know how to say it. You gotta do it phonetically. 2023. I see what you did there. Congrats on the million. Keep it going. The Discord is awesome. I'm glad you like it. GL saying my name. LOL. Happy New Year to you and everyone else. Cheers to a better 2023. Well, thanks for all your support. I'm glad you enjoyed the Discord. Everyone should go check it out. Check out the Discord server.
It's
I
going
would post a
crazy
link.
right now.
Is it going crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking on it while I'm doing this. So I've got a lot of this going on.
So go to the yfiles.com/Discord. Go right now.
Go.
That's Haywood Jablomi.
That's the good stuff.
That's, what's his name, Jen?
Haywood Jablomi? You got me. He got me. You got me. That was funny.
Check the Certifiles and 20 back space program. Lots of good lore. Sub 2 weeks ago. Cheers and 1 mil. Thanks, Haywood. Richard Bramlett, $20. Let us know how comfortable that couch is. LOL. Stop cutting off your wife. That's fair enough. That's fair.
Oh, that was funny. Okay. Here we go.
Diane Michael, Diane M, $20. Really appreciate all your hard work. How did you come up with Hecklefish? Casting call. He answered a casting call and he was good on the air.
He just showed up.
Dennis, $20. Congrats on the million. Of all your videos, which one creeped you out the most while researching? Shadow people. Shadow people creep me out because I had that real experience.
Creep me out too. Because they say that the more you talk about them, the more you're likely to bring them into your life. And that's all we talked about for like a week and a half. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Little freaky. Little freaky.
David Van Matre. David V. $50.
Well, I'll be a son of a fish. That's a nice tip.
That is a nice
Sure
tip.
is. Thanks, David. Marcus, I won't even try that for 129 sex. That's a lot of sex. I haven't had that many sex in a long time. So much sex. Greetings from Sweden. Discovered your channel 3 days ago and binge watched all of the videos. Thanks to the algorithm loves that. And it's very entertaining and professional. Thank you. Susan B, $41. Thanks, Susan.
Oh, thank you for stuffing the old tip jar, human.
Tokume LLC, $20. Would love to see your opinions on the suppressed technology of the Serial Effect Generator, magnetic ion engine, or the very interesting Paul Mahler Skycar, suppressed early UFO, VTOL tech. Those are all great topics. Since I just did that one, it would have to get backburnered. But I'd like to do that stuff. It's one of the problems that I have with the tip line is I'll do it. Let's say I'll do a video on Dorothy Eady reincarnation. Then I'll get 10 suggestions of Dorothy Eady stories. Well, I kind of already did it. So I just did the ARV story. So I can't do another suppressed technology one for a while. But I do like that stuff. And I love the ion engine technology. That I don't know why we don't have that. Neither does Jen. She also doesn't know why we don't have that.
I don't know.
$20, a couple of Thinker Thunker videos, and you'll be blown away how real Bigfoot is. Okay. As soon as those videos come my way. Haven't seen any yet. Joel Brandon Media, $20. Everyone go to joelbrandonmedia.com for all your Brandon Media needs. We will all forgive you for taking a break or taking longer to produce videos. You're my new favorite channel. Thanks, Joel. It's not you guys that I'm worried about with the break. It's the algorithm. You know,
Yeah.
I know if I skip a week that if you're in this live stream now, 3 hours in, you're going to watch. If I skip a week, in fact, you'll encourage me to do so. The algorithm doesn't really care about my well-being. It just wants
Thank you
mo. It just wants
for
mo.
thank you to the 4,253 people that are still watching.
No, I guess I'm going to have to get Grubhub going while we're doing this.
You should get Grubhub going. You know what? You get Grubhub going. I will go to the live chat and I will answer some of the ones that pop up.
You will?
So, yeah, I will. Hi, Michael James. Oh, nice. Now he just throws me over here. Let's see. Thank you, Fire Pig. Yes, that I'm not his assistant. I'm his wife. Awesome. Mooby Tubi, you've been here since we started this at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much. Mohammed Coffee. Yes, I would like some coffee. Let's see. I am not going to read about any of the topics because this is his channel. So, Michael James, love you too. Sage Burns for Neo Prototype. Yes, I'm trying to usurp the show. Somebody was talking about Sage Burns for Shadow People. There was a lot of talk about that when we were doing research. People were talking about that. Turning on the light. That was another one. LP King 85. Thank you so much. We are working on the Hecklefish plushie. You guys, it is right there. It is right there. Oh, Ravner 777. AJ does not throw the Illuminati symbol at the end. That is the Kenpo salute. So it's the be safe, be kind, and know that you are appreciated. That's the salutation for Kenpo. AJ's been studying for probably 30 years, 35 years. So he's been studying for a long time. Let's see. I do not still work with Cyanide and Happiness. They're a great company. Love them. Lots and lots. Yes. Now AJ's doing some Kenpo. We just moved. So I wasn't in the state anymore. And I actually also came over here to work for the channel full time. So, but love them. They're great over there. Great channel, great company, great people. Let's see. Do not talk about sushi. He does not like. What's my accent? Oh, that's interesting. I haven't heard that before. Midwest. I am from Missouri. So, Jennifer Lynn, that is also me. I am a Jennifer Lynn. Thank you so much. Aaron, thank you for the eye makeup comment. JP Smart 59 also said you use Jesus's name and they will leave. That was something else that I read in a bunch of the stories that praying. People would pray when they saw them and they would go away. Go Chiefs. Yes. Go Chiefs. Let's see. What else we got? Hood Uzumaki. Love this channel. Keep up the vibes. We love you guys too. Thank you so much.
How's she doing? It sounds a little clunky.
You're so rude. You're so rude. Anyway.
Hold on. What's this?
Whoa, thank you. All right. You're back?
What else you got?
Let's see. See, people said I was doing great. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. Let's go back over here to some of the starred super chats. Robert Durston for $19.99.
Robert Durston, $19.99. Hey, you're a good person. He's talking about Jen. Love you and Hecklefish. Your wife is hot too. She is. Good idea to not have her on too much. Would love to get you some Archer Air superiority. Wow, that was I shouldn't have read that one out loud. Right.
Who
Well,
was-
she put it up there.
He was negging me. That's what it was.
He was negging you.
Uh-huh.
What happened is she read your wife is hot and said, "Oh, I'll put this one up. That's good for me," and didn't read the rest.
No, I put it up because I was putting up. Never mind.
That's what happened.
Rude.
Chelsea Hallstra, there's a crab cat subreddit. BS. Now I got to check.
Mhm.
It can't be. Did she make that up?
I don't know.
She must have made that up.
Jace Fuse for $42. Thank you so much. Let's see. I'm going to do this one. Jim Hub for $6.99 Canadian. Whole family loves watching Y-Files each week. Can you do a shout out to my kids, Sophia and Isaiah Hubahib, who are watching right now? Love from Winnipeg. Sophia and Isaiah. AJ, shout them out.
Sophia and Isaiah. Hubahib!
Awesome.
Whoa, the Lazy March for $100 Australian.
Ooh, I like the way you tip me. No diggities. Just tip me up.
Congratulations, AJ Hucklefish. I was watching your channel since Carrington event episode when was Hook on simulation episode, and the Shadow People was so real. It was happened to me in the past too. It was mind-blowing. Keep up the good work and Happy New Year. Thank you, Lazy March. Carrington event episode, I like that one. It was science-y. Budget makes 1999. My favorite days are when you upload. Thank you, teaching us awesome shiz. Curious if you looked Dr. Chuck Missler's crazy ideas about codes and UFOs in the Bible. I looked into some of his stuff for the Bible Code episode, yes, which was demonetized. Sebrew for 1999. If CGI reached a point where live film and digital creations are indistinguishable, do you think society will reach a point where digital cinematography replaces movie live actors, or is Uncanny Valley an impassable barrier? I love that question because, yes, I think live actors would replace, CGI actors would replace live actors, because why wouldn't you? If deep fakes are good enough, if a deep fake Tom Cruise is good enough, why not? Why pay the real guy $25 million? And eventually you could just create your own characters. And I have a video where it kind of talks about that. The issue we run into is the human brain's ability to detect a non-human human is so good that it's really hard to beat. And even now, our brain can't be tricked. It's just not yet.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, they did that movie years ago, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, where the entire thing was shot on green screen. And it just didn't do that well because people watching, they could just feel that the stakes weren't as high. It was just a bunch of people standing there with a green screen behind them. I think it's always going to be the real peeps. That's me. All right. Let me find another one here for you to read. Did you get your food ordered? That's it. I went through all of the higher ones.
So we're good. William Worthman for $20. Thanks for that. The Hubris of Man. $10. Your mature approach, humility, and creativity is so refreshing in the social media age of hot takes and disrespect. Thank you for providing a wholesome, entertaining escape for me and my family. Well, thank you for writing almost a perfect log line for the channel that I could put in the media kit. That's well said. Where's Connor's dad at?
Boom shakalaka. Thank you for the tip.
That's Fireballs for 20 of those. Do a Skinny Bob voice, please. It's Skinny Bob video, please, is undebunkable. I don't think I know that one.
I don't know that
But
one.
whenever someone says it's undebunkable, then I have to do it. There's Connor's dad. I knew he was in there somewhere. Steve Swanson for $19.99. My wife won't let me watch this right now because she thinks this channel is dorky and nerdy. How do I change her mind? I mean, rather than try to change her mind, I would consider maybe a divorce attorney could be a way to do that. And then what? What? Because maybe you could do better. Maybe you could do better. No, I don't know. Here's the thing about the wives. You just have to make her sit there and watch it. You just have to make her sit there and watch it. And she's going to resist. But Steve, you're the man.
Oh
Well,
my
look,
gosh.
Look, hold on. She's going to go, oh, how dare, that's terrible. I know what Jenny likes. So if I'll say, hey, honey, we're going to watch Reacher. We're going to watch Reacher. Well, the Tom Cruise or the other one? We're going to watch both. Now she just watches Reacher on loop. Everything I tell, Game of Thrones, everything. I just know what she likes. So, Steve, what I'm getting at is if you know what she likes, then you just make her sit and watch. If you know that she doesn't like this channel, you're not going to convince her. This is a very specific demographic. We embrace the weird.
Yep.
Is that fair, Jenny?
It's fair. Sometimes I just say I don't want to watch something just because you're so cocky about the fact that you know what I like. So
I know, and that makes her even more resistant. And then she doesn't want to admit she likes it because I gloat because I'm an infant that way. But
he gloats.
What ends up is she ends up with a show that she likes.
That's true.
I mean, The Witcher. We've watched it over and over and over.
Witcher's great.
And we're furious about Cavill leaving.
Yes, we are.
No
Yes,
offense to Baby Hems, but
Baby Hems.
I think he's older. I think he's older than Chris, right?
No.
Is Liam? It's Liam who's doing it, right?
Liam's the younger one.
Oh, so Baby Hems.
Baby Hems. Let's see.
Well, has Hecklefish ever reincarnated or tried microdosing? Is it true Spielberg-based WT in Amherst, Ohio in the 70s? What's Spielberg's WT? I don't know. There's a lot of good conspiracies about Steven Spielberg, most of which I couldn't cover on YouTube. But just Google Spielberg.
I think he meant E.T.
Hang on. Just Google Spielberg girl from Poltergeist. Hecklefish has tried microdosing. He microdoses quite a bit.
I think he meant E.T.
Oh, he meant E.T.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was based on Amherst, Ohio. I know it was it was a book first. E.T. was a botanist from another planet who ate M&Ms. Remember, he ate M&Ms in the book.
Right. And they couldn't get M&Ms to...
They didn't want to. Because
they didn't want to sponsor it.
It's a stupid movie. No one was going to watch.
Right. So the Reese's people hopped in instead. Okay, I know we've been going 3 hours and 17 minutes, but there's still 4,014 people hanging out and watching.
AT, $10. Once you gave props to Art Bell, RIP. I was so happy to hear someone good reference him. He was a legend, and following up on those stories is awesome. Thanks for the content. Thanks, AT. Art Bell is the godfather of this subject matter. And we're going to do one video, and I'm going to try and make it a live stream. We're going to go visit his grave and pay our respects to the great one. Art Bell started all of this. And I like to hear people support him because whenever I do an Art Bell story, there's always people in the comments, not a lot, but there's a few about, eye roll, another Art Bell story, yawn, yawn. This has been around for 25 years. And I think that's annoying. When I first put Mel's Hole out there, people in the comments just trashed it because Art Bell talked about it 25 years ago. Well, 2 million views later, people still want to know what's in Mel's Hole.
They want to know, and a great t-shirt too.
Oh, the t-shirt for Mel's Hole is, I went to Mel's Hole and all I got was this magic seal fetus. And if you watch the video, you know what that means. But that is my favorite t-shirt. Although Crab Cat's a pretty good t-shirt.
Yep. Crab Cat's a good one. I can't wait till we get ours. Let's see. I saw one appear that I was going to put up. Nope. That wasn't.
I just got to give a shout out to Mawball Siege, $5. Recently found your channel. Love it. Love when Hecklefish chimes in. Do you have an NYPD connection? I'm a 938XXX tax. I have the same retired mug. Yeah, a lot of NYPD in the family. That's probably the mug is from my pop. So he's Midtown South, 60s and 70s, early 80s. 938 tax ID. That's how you know someone's really NYPD, is because the tax ID is that's the code. That's the secret. No social security number, no employee ID. It's your tax number. Hun Pascal Park for 11 of those. What are those euros? Or he's in South Korea. Those South Koreans? Korean monies? Just recently discovered your channel and binge watched all your long form videos within a few days. Keep up the amazing work. Do you plan to do even longer mini docu-like videos? Longer than 30 minutes? I do not plan on doing that. It's just too hard. It's just too hard. Sign fan, $5, $10. There's no visuals, but have you heard about the secret school in San Antonio, Texas? It's a school run by aliens, according to Whitley Strieber. I haven't heard that. Whitley Strieber, if you don't know, is famous for the abduction book Communion and the movie by the same name, now that I think of it, with Christopher Walken.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm thinking,
he's in the room.
I was thinking of a different Christopher Walken one.
Yeah, I don't know about the secret school in San Antonio, but that's interesting.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Send us over the tip line.
He's excited.
Daron Wagner for 50 of those. Thanks so much for the amazing content.
Let me find out what that is.
Well, you can't find out if you're producing.
It's Thai bot. 50,000.
Oh, that's Thai money?
Thai money. Ooh.
Well, Kap Kum Kra. Kap Kum Kra.
Okay, I put up another one for you.
That's how you say thank you. Zam Khan Cam for 40,000 COPs.
Hookah chaka, hookah, hookah, hookah chaka,
Oh, no.
hookah, hookah. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Human, you just don't realize what your tips do to me. When you tip,
They've both left me now. Nice. So let's see. Hey, from Croatia, thanks for everything. You're welcome, everyone.
and I think it's crazy that you send cash to me.
Yeah, if he's singing, you can go ahead and not talk because they can't hear you.
Oh.
Right.
I didn't know because I could still hear me.
Well, we've dropped under 4,000 viewers, so maybe these folks want to take a break. Maybe they want to call it.
What do you guys think? Let us know. Oh,
EK for $10 says Bitcoin is the only sound money ever created. Governments hate money that can't be created from thin air. Can you do a Bitcoin episode about Satoshi and how humanity can benefit from Bitcoin? I'd like to. I think that would be a good episode. I was going to do one on the Federal Reserve, but in my research learned that that's a misinformation warning on YouTube because of the Rothschilds connection. But how can you do the Federal Reserve without the Rothschilds? But I thought it would be a good video to do because of how inflation works and how governments need inflation in order to pay down the money, the debt that they create by printing money. But
Keep it up. They're going to censor us.
yeah, they might censor us for that. But EK, I know what you're talking about. I'm going to do something. I got to try to walk through the raindrops of the algorithm.
I just Diet Coke or
Conspiracy
sorry about
search
that.
for 777. My buddy and I send each other reminder texts when we see that Wi-Fi's drop is coming. Also, I'm a huge Art Bell fan. I love when you reference the show. That makes me so happy. Makes me so happy. I'm a Coast to Coast Insider member since, I don't know, 15 years maybe. Yeah, maybe 15 years. I mean, when Art was still married to Ramona, that's how far I've been a member, paying member. Jen doesn't even remember those days. Yeah, she doesn't know what we're talking about. It's fine. It's fine. She's pretty. That's what's important. Randy wants to keep Lord Hecklefish well fed. He likes White Castle cheeseburgers, so that's gonna work. Bernard Chase and Chase $10 Canadian would like to see Shag Harbor, Nova Scotia UFO incident involve U.S. and Canadian navies. I don't think I know that one. Tips line, Bernard, Bernie, Big B.
You're lucky
The
I'm
real
good-natured.
Sean Crummell. This is the real Sean Crummell, not those imposters that I was warning you guys about for $5. What struggle? I found you last week. Today, boom, 1 million. Congrats. I look forward to a video on the government involvement with talking fish experiments.
This human right here, this human gets it.
Ah.
Chris Kornhaus for $5. Excellent content. Thanks, Chris. I would love to see an episode dealing with more U.S. government cover-ups of CIA activity. You know how someone earlier said that they were going to run out of mystery stories? Well, as long as there's a CIA, there will always be content for this channel because that is a shady, shady group.
So people are asking what might be some upcoming topics.
UFOs, ancient mysteries, modern urban legends. Yep. We find out usually on Wednesday when the premiere goes up.
We do.
And even I like to keep a little bit of mystery about the topics. I'm not trying to be coy. The real answer is I don't know. I don't know. I know what this week's is. I know what next week's is, but beyond that, I don't know yet. So
You
I don't wanna
guys, I mean,
I don't want to say I'm going to do a video on such and such topic and then I don't, or I'm late and then I've disappointed you. So,
and I have to tell you guys, AJ thinks he doesn't just go, oh, I'm going to do this topic. And then he goes and writes the script. Like he picks a topic, he does a bunch of research. And if he can't find the good story or he can't find something new that you guys haven't heard before, then he'll move on to a different topic. So, he puts a lot of thought and care into every episode that is done. And most of the time, I don't even see the episodes until the day that they go up when we're doing the live chats. So a lot goes
Thunder
on.
Moo Moo for $10. Hell yeah, on the 1 million subs to you and Hecklefish. I watch everything and lose myself in your stories. That's very nice of you to say, Thunder.
Thunder Moo.
Scrolling. Dylan for $10.
Ooh, thank you, human. You made my dorsal fin tingle.
Congratulations on your awesome success. Would love to see you do a video about Robert Monroe and OBE's astral projection. Yes, definitely will do that. Robert Monroe, I'm definitely a fan of his research and the Monroe Institute. And OBE's astral projection, I've always been interested in that since I'm a kid. So I'm just scrolling. I'm scrolling. Craig Woollett for $5 Australian wants to know if Hecklefish gets chicks. He certainly does. He's swimming in ex-wives over here.
Yes.
I love Wapiti for $2 says that Mrs. Y-Files needs a better office. So that's our 60 cents from the $2 for you to have a better office. She's building a Amazon tower of cardboard back there.
Yes. Well, this is home office. I have an office at the studio that's you'll see in future live streams.
Blake K80 drum covers. So if anyone is in the market for drum covers, the best place to go is Blake K80 drum covers for all your drum covering needs for £5. Hi, AJ. Thanks so much for the Wi-Fi's. I look forward to episode drops all week long. Many congratulations on the 1 million subs. Thank you. One love from Manchester, UK. Thanks, Blake. Dave Wingler for 500, I guess those are 500 yen. Can you say this, please? Hey, Leaf. Hey, Leaf. Leaf, are you listening? You're a disappointment. You're a disappointment, boy. How
Stop that.
dare you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Leaf. You're fine. You're the best son a dad could ever have. Keep thinking big, son. Keep thinking big. Is that good?
I think that was good.
Okay. All right. Leaf, did you hear? Is he listening? Gillinator 1990 for $2. You deserve all the hype you're getting and more. I didn't know we were getting any hype.
We are. You're
We
getting
are
all
getting
kinds
some
of hype.
We just got to shout out Chase Fuse, $42.
There you go. Guppy needs a new pair of shoes.
Agnew Dylan for $5, third and last attempt. Haha. Love your stories with lizard people, the green children. Oh, yeah, the green children of Woolpit. That one didn't do very well.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. And others, I'm curious if you're going to touch on Agartha. Yeah, we'll do Agartha in the Hollow Earth video. But I talked about it a little bit in the Operation High Jump video. But yeah, we'll cover that in Hollow Earth. Speaking of lizard people, you can have your own Lizard People coffee mug. You can get one today at shop.thewhyfiles.com. In fact, if you use the code LizardPeople, one word, LIZZIDPEEPLE, you get 10% off anything in the store. That's shop.thewhyfiles.com. Support your favorite YouTube channel today.
We have hit 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh, boy. Paul McGrath for 20.
Human, I want you to know I said human. Thank you for all the dough. Tipping, as I'm sure you will find, always is a good time. Ooh, 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 it's fun to tip the FISH. It's fun to tip
I don't know how to do the arms for that.
ISH.
I don't know what the hell channel even is this. I don't know what channel this is. There's $9.99 for the vacation fund. Thank you, Peter A. That really helps. Susan B. Has Hecklefish ever oh, we already got the one. Has he ever reincarnated? I don't think he has, but that gives me an idea for a bit. Gives me an idea for a bit. Sophie Luna for $10. Please say hello to my husband, Robert Visser. Hey, Robbie! Yo, Robbie, yo! That's how we do it back in the Bronx. I thought you were clicking. Are we done? Mr. Gixer, $1,300 for $5. Thanks for the great content. It has helped me a lot over the last year while dealing with stage 4 cancer. Oh, my God, Mr. Gixer. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Lindsay Zeb for $5. You deserve all these subscribers. You did that. What about near-death experiences, reincarnation, or psychic mediums? Near-death experiences, I said earlier, we're definitely going to do is just looking into that reincarnation. I love that topic. Psychic mediums could be fun because there are none that are psychic. So that would be fun to do, psychic mediums. Jamie Bennon for $50.
Heyo, making it rain over here.
Thanks, Jamie. We're making it rain.
I think you should get ready to eat your dinner.
Okay, it's not on the way yet, but
Okay, well, you can wait. I mean, it's up to you. If you're ready to still go,
I mean, while we're waiting, anyone who sent in a couple of shekels, give them a shout out.
give them a shout
Like
out.
T-Max 7, for example, put in $7.99 Australian. Says season's greetings, great team, awesome show, all the best for the new year. And I say thank you, T-Max. I thought T-Max was a prostate medication. Lindsay Zeb, all right, I got that one already. Mate Eduardo, 23 for $5.99. Finally catch up with you. Are we having content about data teleportation and quantum entanglement? Thank you for creating this channel. All the best. We have data teleportation and quantum entanglement coming up. The issue with that topic is it's not easy to do in a 15, 20, 25-minute video.
Yeah.
But I am working on a video about data teleportation, entanglement, locality and non-locality, and some of that other stuff, which I think you'll enjoy. So stick around for that.
One thing all fish know is the only way to not get caught is to keep your mouth shut.
We're fine. There's Pontiac Jeff for 2022. Thanks, Pontiac Jeff. He's either from Michigan or driving an old car. Matty D for $10 Canadian. Love this channel so much. Thanks for everything, guys. Make sure to look into the Gosford glyphs, Egyptians in Australia. I found some stories on that when I was doing the Kincaid story. So yeah, we can do that. That's interesting. Colin Tucker, 1111 Australian. Congrats on the million. Was there a particular case or event that was your entry into this stuff? It was my dad. My dad would listen to Art Bell late at night, so he just kind of got into it. And he gave me a book once called The Mexican Pet, which you can probably still find on Amazon, which was about urban legends. This is probably in the early 80s. And it was just super fun. The stories were fun. And, you know, Art Bell's playing around the house. And when you're, 11 years old and your dad is into something and you're into something, it's something that you can talk about. And we kind of just always had that to talk about. And Dad always watched this kind of content up until, the week he died. He always had YouTube on. He liked this channel. He would watch That Chapter. That's how I found That Chapter. Mike, give it a go. That runs a great channel. And Mr. Ballin, Dad was a huge fan of Mr. Ballin. So, this content was always around.
Yeah. We like give it a go.
Cleveland 216, frowny face, didn't read my super chat. I'm sorry, Cleveland. I didn't see it. Honey, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it, but now we're saying hi. Hi, Cleveland.
Yeah, but Cleveland might have had something important to say.
I don't know. You'll have to learn how to search the super
And Rick
chat.
Barr for $20 says $50.
And Yahtzee! Thanks for supporting the channel, human.
Deuce Coop. That's the little Deuce Coop for 10 pounds. Greetings and salutations and felicitations to you as well, fellow Earthlings and space travelers. Glad that found the channel. Here's to 2 million subscribers from a Swede in Glasgow, Scotland. Love to hear from our Swedish Glaswegians.
That's
What?
easy
What
for
are you
you to
laughing
say. It's easy for you to
He's
say.
a Swedish Glaswegian, isn't he?
Yes, he is a Swedish Glaswegian.
Is this making sense to anyone?
No, heck, it's not.
14th century hair. Time travel backwards isn't possible. We could potentially go forward in time, though, as we are now. Huh? I see what you're saying there. We are going forward in time if you just mean linearly, but you can travel forward in time and just using the theory of relativity. You can travel forward in time. Higher speed, higher gravity means time flows faster. That's moving forward in time. Time travel backwards is not possible. That's true. Unless there's some research about it beyond our technology, though.
Unless it's not linear.
DJ Everline, $9.99. I look forward to your videos whenever they come out. Great way to close out my day and relax and learn. And learn.
And learn.
Thanks, DJ. That's DJ Everline. Can Spank for $4.99. Who can't? Found you a week ago. Was hooked after one video. You guys are great.
Biggity bingo, human.
Paul.
Stuff in the till.
That's what I'm talking about.
Paul for another $100. So excited. The stream is still going. I love how committed you are to the community. I've had a stressful evening. I'm sorry about that, Paul. Dropping $1,000 on the Wi-Fi's is probably not going to help your stress, but it's doing wonders for mine. And it's good to be back. So excited. And don't be afraid of doing longer videos or 2-part videos. Question: did you ever watch Penn and Teller? Bullshit. All the time. I love that show. And and Penn's politics align with mine. So I like Penn. And I don't know, are they still in residency in Vegas?
Yes, they are.
Be fun to see a show. Yeah, I love that bullshit show.
It was good.
Tim W999, you all are doing it right, especially for us paranormal fanatics. The Allgash abduction is a fascinating abduction case of 4 men. It'd be great content. I don't know that one.
Dude, this idea is my favorite kind of weird.
Yeah, mine too. Put that in the tips line. Chris McKee, $5. Doppelgangers as a video subject. That's on my list. I just haven't found a way to do it yet. That wasn't just, I don't know. It just every time I sat down to write it, it just came across as goofy. Doppelgangers, if you don't know, it's the theory is there's someone out in the world who looks just like you. And that's your doppelganger. Not a twin, it's a doppelganger. So yeah, I'd like to do something about it. I just can't find the right angle. What does that mean? Double walker? Is that what that means? Jerry Tea Leaf, why is Mrs. Y-Files stuck in an Amazon package room? I don't know. I got to check the credit card bill to figure it out.
Yeah. None of these have my name on them.
Oh. Well,
Let's see.
what do you got?
I'm looking here. Oh,
Rock
thank you.
351, $5. Your channel's awesome. Thanks, Rock. Everything is presented phenomenally well. Would love to hear something about OOBEs, Robert Monroe, Hemi Sync. Yep. Maybe we'll do those soon. Deuce Coop is back. 10 more pounds. Love Mr. Ball and Mr. Ball and the Y-Files. What can go wrong? By the way, does Hecklefish still work as a hit fish? Asking for a friend.
2 questions. A, what are you smoking? And 2, can I have some?
Excalibur N, $5. Missed my super chat. I'm sorry about that. Congrats on 1 million. I asked, what do you think of the ancient Roman, the dodecahedron? I don't know specifically what you mean, Excalibur. You got to put it on the tips line. But if it has to do with ancient Rome, I'm going to like it. Jefe Pero. Does that mean boss dog? $10 Australian, a few pesos for some lingerie for Hecklefish. Don't judge me. I mean, I'll do it, but that's a weird fetish, Jefe. Jefe Pero. Wood and Wandco. I've tried HemiSync, incredible light body experiences. I'm going to look into that. Wojo, $10. I met my doppelganger and I was beside myself.
You need a badoom-cha sound effect.
Yeah. Paranormal Gems. I watched you with Gene Simmons speaking to a ghost. Yeah, that was a trippy experience. Yeah, I was on Gene's show. It was the Gene Simmons Family Jewels, and I played a television producer, and we hunted ghosts and had a seance on the Queen Mary. So that was my day. I did that. But if you want to watch the episode, it's called Scary Cat. It was fun. It didn't suck. David Ford for $10. Always good to see David. He's supported the channel a long time. Happy for you guys. I hope you can continue the growth. We're going to try.
We're trying.
DX Central for $10. Not sure if you answered my question last time. Had to go for a run. But your knowledge on the number stations episode was impressive. Thanks. That and your AMSAT sticker makes me wonder, are you a ham DXer? I'm a dabbler, but I don't have my license. That's something I'd like to do. I just haven't had time. And number stations I've been into since I was a kid. You know, it was one of those things that Dad was into. So I was into number stations. I was building crystal radios when I was just a wee lad. I mean, most 5-year-olds are into that stuff. Shaner the Gray for $19.99, eventually to become Shaner the White. 2 years ago at night, I saw a black sphere UFO surrounded by a pulsating wave of clearly plasma. Looked like aurora. The UFO was completely devoid of light, like a black hole. Then it bolted into space. Lots of UFOs in Point Loma, San Diego. There are a lot of UFOs down there. Also a lot of military aircraft. That's an interesting story. Love to see the video that you've got on your phone.
Let's see.
Would be cool. But what? But Ancient Build says, what if Ross and I interviewed you? I say, cool. I don't think I know your channel, Ross and you.
Ancient
But you can
Build?
interview me. I just, if your channel is Ancient Builds, I'm not going to be very interesting to your viewers. But I'll do it. I'm sorry, Jenny. What did you got? What you got? The Lazy March for another $10. Hi, AJ. If you could look into UFO in Australia, I'd love it. Here we have a lot of historical tale of sky spirit people, contact with Aboriginal people, and give them knowledge, etc. Cheers. That's true. The Aboriginals is the longest lasting surviving civilization on the planet. And yeah, they have their own flood myth where a god came down and gave them knowledge, like every civilization has. I'd be interested in doing that.
Lots of flood myths.
Lots of flood myths.
Mm-hmm.
Doug W, $5. Love the channel. Looking forward to 2023. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for that tip.
Yes, there you go. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Poppin' with DJ 499. Greetings and salutations, sir. Felicitations to you. How are you? And especially, how is Lord Hecklefish? We are well. Well, indeed. Cleveland 269. Every time I see Cleveland, I gotta do the voice. Oh, no, Peter. He knows what I'm talking about. Congrats on everything. We need a harp episode. Yeah, I'm doing it. That one's coming. Harp and weather manipulation.
Oh,
Get some chemtrails in there too. Abstracu 999. Love the channel. Please keep it up. Would love to see a video on the impending pole shift we are overdue for, or maybe Operation Mincemeat. 29-year-old jet fan from Long Island, by the way. All right, holla, Strong Island. The pole's always shifting. I think you mean the drastic pole shift. Maybe I'd do a video on that because some people do say we're overdue for that. But why are we overdue? Because it's not that cyclical. Now, it could be interesting. But I see that I've got a driver coming here in just a couple of minutes. So I think this is going to be our last one. Cheek Clappa 69. Oh, my. I sent 2 separate $5 super chats. Read one of them, please. Isn't it enough that I said that you're a Cheek Clappa 69? But I don't have the other super chats. But look, you're the last one of the night, Cheek Clappa 69, because my dinner is going to be here in a minute. So thank you for the $5 super chats. I appreciate that. Thanks to everyone who sent in tips tonight. Your support means a lot, keeps the channel going. Let me know if you like these live streams. I'll keep doing them. When people stop showing up, I'll stop showing up. All right, that's it for me. That's Jenny. And we'll see you guys soon. And thanks so much for your support. Good night.